StreamYard's audio.
You put me on the fucking chicken.
You're not privileged. I'm proud of that, MauLer.
MauLer is riding a cack.
Hyper slop.
You're
Did you
the
see Matt
chicken
Berry?
jockey!
It was gonna be Matt Berry was gonna be Steve, not Jack Black, but he couldn't make it because of scheduling. That would have made the movie fucking funny, probably.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Maybe not good though,
Yep,
because there's
it
still
was-
a whole plot issue.
Well, cool. Yeah, but like Matt Berry would lead into it so much
That would
better.
have been great.
Dude, it was a movie made to not be watched and throw popcorn at and release chickens and scream in the theater. And that's whatever gets them in the theaters is
Dude.
fine at this point.
Those poor fuckers who work at those places.
Yeah, I definitely would not be one of the attendants that has to clean those theaters.
It kind of reminds me of the Szechuan sauce from Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah.
It has been a great week to be someone who's in the theater business as an owner of one of these places or whatever. It's been massive, huge for them. They needed it. Yeah. If you're one of the fucking plebs that cleans up, it sucks for you.
Think about how understaffed they must be because the business has been so terrible. So like I imagine there's a lot of shows that are starting late now because of that.
Yeah, but you know what Hollywood is just learning from this? They're going to think that, all we need to do is mine, pun intended, a big enough IP and we can just put out absolute crap and make bank.
Oh, I mean,
Make everything Rocky Horror.
They've done this to an extent. It's just a matter of finding big fat cows because like Star Wars and Star Trek and all the rest.
That's
they're all
no
like,
name for
Let's do a Lizzo movie.
And she's not fat anymore. She's losing weight.
Right.
Good for her.
But people are going to look at this Minecraft movie and figure out how to replicate it, not just because of the money that it's made, but because of the audience that it's attracting.
Yes.
100%. It has been impossible to get, people under 25, basically under 22, under 20, that age demographic. It's been impossible to get them to come to movies over the past couple of years because there's so many other things they can be doing. The truth is that a lot of these people who are doing this, whether it's for TikToks, whether it's because they're really getting enjoyment out of it, whatever it may be, they are at the theaters for this thing. And that's something that Hollywood has not been able to capture because it's been dominated by YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it may be. This is an exception.
They should make the movie screen look like one big phone, and then
they will. They're going to
the
reorient the movie screen. That's coming.
Make it profile.
Oh, God,
I would have thought the next smart move, if from a cynical point of view, by the way, not creatively, would be a Fortnite movie.
Yes.
Oh, there will be 100%. Oh my God, there will be.
You can put all the different IPs in that as well. So it'd be like Ready Player One.
But first, before we get to our lovely and talented multi-tentacled guest, we have an ad read. Ryan, do you have your Raycons with you?
They're downstairs. I can grab them if you want.
Could you grab them, please? We'll chat for a little bit. X-Ray girl, you didn't tell them to go get them?
Sorry.
That's what when I was talking to you, I'm like, tell Ryan. I'm supposed to have my Raycon earphones, but they're in Wisconsin. So, and that's our ad read. So as we wait, hi, everybody. How's it going? Meetup's coming up, and I think I saw a super chat up here talking about karaoke. Is this it right here? Right here? Oh, that today? Oh no. Hey, today is his 55th birthday. Unfortunately, I can't attend Las Vegas while I'm done with you. Meetup. So here is some money to buy people drinks and to bail X-Ray Girl out if she gets arrested for public drunkenness and lewd behavior. Also, I agree with Jay. I agree with Jay too.
The public drunkenness is basically a guarantee.
Yeah, but I think somebody said we'll get to it later. But somebody's setting up some.
You know it.
I'm a good girl, I swear.
Nobody believes that.
So she gets a couple drinks in her. And that's all out the window.
Good.
That's all. Well, okay, I guess it depends on your perspective. Today we are sponsored by Raycon. I actually use Raycon, but I don't have the headphones with me because I left them in Wisconsin. But Ryan has some. Look at these beautiful headphones. They nuzzle in your ear, all nice and tidy. And you can listen to audiobooks by Shad M. Brooks in your sleep. Yes, you can. You can listen to an audiobook from me in your sleep in a couple of months. It might take me 10 years to read it, but it's okay.
You can listen to Spotify. You can listen to YouTube. You can listen to the newest, Song of Ice and Fire, fan fiction for how Winds of Winter is going to go, because we're never actually going to get the book. There's so many things you can do with your Raycons.
From early mornings to late nights, Mom is always on the go, juggling work, family, and everything in between. This Mother's Day, treat her to everyday earbuds by Raycon, because she deserves a moment to relax and not listen to your bullshit. Recharge and enjoy her favorite music, podcast, and calls in crystal clear sound. Raycon's everyday earbuds are the perfect gift for your mom, whether she's hitting the gym. I was going to make a joke there, but I can't. Busy with work or taking one of the many phone calls she habitually puts on speaker each day. Give your mom the gift of premium audio that goes where she does. If she is super busy, with Raycon's quick charge function, just 10 minutes of charging yields 90 minutes of battery. That's actually pretty good. And they do charge really fast, which I love. The things I love about Raycon's everyday earbuds are they come with active noise cancellation and a long battery life, 32 hours. It's a must-have feature when I'm listening to music at the gym, which I do every time I'm at the gym. Being at the gym without music sucks, or because you have to listen to theirs, or on my long walks, or listening to audiobooks like, Shadow of the Conqueror by Shad M. Brooks before going to bed. I've said it twice. It's comfortable, but it's actually uncomfortable to mention that I'm listening to Shadow of the Conqueror every night I'm going to bed. I wish it was read by Shad. Its comfortable design is also sweat water resistant and does not fall out of your ears easily. There's also cool protective case covers that Ryan was showing right there. The design complements the earbuds color perfectly. And not only do these look great, they support wireless charging. So I don't need to take the protective cover off. Go to buyraycon.com/nerdrotic to get 20% off site-wide. Brought to you by Raycon. Happy Mother's Day.
Ooh.
Thank you. I'm available for future ad reads on other channels.
You did it, Gary. Well done.
You read every word.
Almost. Almost. Well,
so how's the audiobook recording going, Gary?
I'm practicing now, and it's going to take a while.
Oh.
You're practicing what? Reading?
Yes.
It's like, what skills go into audio?
Disparu, words are hard, man.
Well, okay, I'm recording it in my studio, and I'm going to stand up and do it, and I'm going to print it out, and they're going to have to be huge. So, and that's usually what they do, and they do it in increments, and apparently they do all the edits, but I'm going to have to edit it myself. I've already done a little bit of an audiobook for Troy Duffy, his book, the director of Boondock Saints. I read a little bit in that, which wasn't much, but yeah, I've been practicing reading my book, because once I've read it a couple of times, then I'll know it more than reading it.
The story of your fucking life.
Yeah, you wrote it.
Well, I had help, Chrissy. I can't spell or read or put together a sentence, but I had help.
You don't need any of that.
No, I was certainly there. I wasn't surprised by anything. I was like, really?
I kind of would want the
came out of nowhere.
mistakes. Then we know for sure it's coming from you. If it's got messed up.
When I do the audiobook, I'm going to riff. So it'll be different. Like Adam Carolla does that. He'll read his book and then he'll go on a riff, which makes the audiobook different. So I'm going to do that.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Because I've already thought of a couple of things that didn't go in the book that I just didn't remember until recently, and it was too late.
Director's commentary on an audiobook.
Yeah.
The Zack Snyder cut of Gary's audiobook.
Slow motion. It'll be a lot of slow motion. Wait.
Oh, you've sold it to me. I want to get the audio
in the middle.
Totally getting the audio version.
I can't. It'll be slow motion in this.
What a great character.
Scenes.
Most of the tits will be in the director's cut.
Yes. But they'll be slow motion. So slow motion, like bouncy tits.
Bouncing drugs. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Tit physics. Tip
Do we
physics.
pay extra for all of this?
Unfortunately, it's from a 38-year-old felon while in prison.
MauLer, you always got to pay extra for that kind of action. Okay.
Hyper jiggle physics. It makes sense.
Hyper
only the
jiggle
audio of it.
physics. Well, we can make it sound jiggly. I'm sure there's a way. I know a couple of women who could put their tits up to microphones for me.
We do not need everyone to try and make jiggle sounds.
It's like, how do you allow someone up for that?
I know a couple dudes too.
Hey, Az is just gonna
I miss Az. Yeah.
arm.
You're listening to the audiobook and suddenly you hear cheeks slapping. You're wondering, what the heck?
Yeah, you've got to guess male or female. That's the only.
Now, that's a game. That would be difficult.
By audio alone.
Because your pride, dignity, and straightness is on the line.
You gotta guess. We're not relying on Az, okay?
No. Hey, X-Ray Girl, I managed to mention the book. You proud of me? And I didn't even have a sticky note to do it. There you go. She did. She did. We got a hell of a show for you today. We have watched a cinematic masterpiece that will change minds, change culture, and change how you look at the globalists, because they are the good guys. We have all seen G20.
Yes, sadly.
Superb film.
It was the Madden Web of 2025.
Dude, straight up.
Wow.
It is the best unintentional comedy of the year. I was laughing my ass off.
Though I will say, when I booted it up and I saw it was 2 fucking hours, I was like,
I know.
Jesus.
Yeah, I felt every piece of that.
It is.
I had to do it in 2 chunks. I did one this morning and one this afternoon before I went to the gym.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but it went kind of fast.
It did. So, you know what? Like, the funniest thing about watching this is if you just take some of like the core concepts of, these people trying to storm in and get these people to record this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't mind parts of that. In fact, it's almost like we had movies that were similar to this called, I don't know, fucking Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like we have some things that are very similar to this.
Air Force One, Die Hard.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I like Olympus Has Fallen.
I do too.
I don't think it's some cinematic masterpiece, but I like the idea of the president, all these other people trying to be forced to do something while somebody else is out there who actually has fucking training and actually is proficient, slowly kind of cutting through bad guys and getting in there to save the day. Actually, the fact that it was a 60-year-old Viola Davis.
She's 5'5", by the way. And not exactly in the
giant jack
in the world.
dude.
Yeah.
Well,
I laughed so hard with that
ass.
scene.
so many different characters throughout the whole film kept repeating how amazing she is, though. I was certain that we were dealing with someone very, very strong. So
The affirmation.
I think they were. The 360-degree one-shot kill on about 10 guys that appeared in random angles.
Yeah, that was
For
awesome.
some reason, we're like 5 foot from her. They just spent a long time walking towards her until she turned around.
And they conveniently came in one at a time just so she could pop them off.
Yeah.
The
They
only
waited
reason-
their turn.
The only
All
reason
them
why the
guys
good
with
guys
the
win
safeties
is
on.
because the bad guys are more incompetent than the good guys.
When she took out the guy with her elbow, that was my favorite part. She just,
she was
boom.
so fucking cool when she
So
did that,
they-
dude. It was amazing.
And I want you to
made this
go find a
movie-
picture of her. Go find a picture of her standing next to any actor and look how fucking short she is. By the way, complains about wearing high heels. She wears them all the time on the red carpet. By the way, just want to point that out.
Oh, that was the other thing. Okay, yeah.
She was not tall
or whatever. Yeah.
Well, so did you notice, like, progressively through the movie, she gets to more and more absurd wins, and like, to the point where they have her fight a fucking Urukai, and she wins. Like,
one-on-one.
That's
the guy she flips.
She's
ball
really
guy.
gonna lose, and the film is just like, nah.
The film starts going, don't use power against power. You've got to put me off my balance. In the end, she's just using power, like brute strength on these guys.
In the end, she literally fucking crushes his windpipe and chokes him to death.
That was girl power and black
that
romantic
amazing,
together.
with that amazing elderly woman upper body strength. You know,
Especially at the very end when she like lifts herself up.
But you
on
guys
the
thought
helicopter.
she had
Just
the one
snap.
Krav Maga lesson, so that's how she knows all this stuff.
No, that's how they justify
with
it.
a knee injury.
The film was so meta too. Like it knew it was stupid. Like the elevator opens, she's holding a rifle, and he just goes, "All right, let's have a fist fight." It's just like she'll just kill you, and then the film is like, nah, it's jammed. Sorry, you're like, oh, it's out of ammo, whatever. I was just like, oh, okay. It's like he knew, like the gun was.
Well, I mean, he came without holding guns, and all the other bad guys have guns. But when that elevator opened,
the whole point was he didn't respect her because it was a woman holding a gun, MauLer. That's why he wasn't scared.
So he wasn't keeping count on his way down the elevator.
No, he wasn't. He was just all. And I was reading a review, and there's a word that I didn't know existed called misogynoir. Do you know what misogynoir?
It's hatred of black women.
Misogyny?
It's misogyny against black women.
I'm very familiar with the term. Yes.
I also thought it was a joke when I first heard it, but yeah, apparently it's real.
It's a real word that was used unironically on that RogerEbert.com review. Thanks for sharing that. Disparu is fucking gold. It's a positive review.
I always check his reviews. They are awesome. Like, whatever he does.
Positive review that by the time you're reading it, you're like, you didn't like this movie.
His reviews. Ebert's dead. Like their website, it's just pumping him.
His
all
corpse came up, without his jaw, and he wrote a review, hating this movie and giving it 3.5 stars. It's great. I miss Roger Ebert.
They made this planning, hoping that Kamala would win. No.
Yes, it's kind of apparent.
No, because it went into production in January 2024. It's Michelle Obama power feminist fanfic.
Okay.
That's what it is. It is. What if Michelle Obama was the president and Barry was the first husband? And I loved how much the son counted in this, which was not at all. When he wrote a fucking note to say goodbye to her, because President Michelle Obama thought she was going to die. She writes a note to her daughter. Doesn't even fucking mention her son.
Yeah, the son completely fucking forgot.
Leaves her ring.
Hey, you know what? Jeremy's defense of Interstellar. Hey, you have favorites. You're allowed to have favorites. So it's just
I do think this is in the sort
as a dad, it's true.
Like post-current election setting though, where Trump has essentially lost, because it's not a coincidence that they got the same actor that plays a Trump stand-in in The Boys to be the villain in this versus the Obama stand-in, who's
Alex Jones,
and wants to take over.
Trump and Alex Jones. I mean, like the anti-globalist crypto bros, which all right, though they don't sound that bad. So they had to add in him murdering a bunch of people and stealing money to actually make him a bad guy, because he's not. He's also a live streamer. He has 3 million subs, Ryan, and he had 2 million people watching his fucking live stream.
Yeah, Gary, when you said that, I had no idea what the fuck you were sending me, because I hadn't seen the film yet. So I was just like, is this Anthony Starr's YouTube channel? Like, what?
I fell out of my chair when I saw the emojis coming up in a YouTube chat. I'm like, is he gonna get super chats?
Did you notice their fuck up? And I'm not talking about some nitpicky like they didn't get YouTube correct. That
somebody didn't have the detect dislikes on or something.
Yeah, he didn't have that.
So I can send you, if you want to pull up the screenshot. That's it, right? So this is the point in the story where they've just announced themselves that what they've done and what's going to happen. And if you remember, a few scenes later, we get the whole we need to start recording people so we can start creating deep fakes. And remember, the first deep fake that they're successful with was the German Chancellor.
Yep.
And that goes out way after this. But can you see at the bottom right, that's already fucking streaming.
Oh, yeah.
Secret recordings. I was just like,
I didn't see that. I didn't see that in the next video. Yeah. How did they fuck that up? Well, MauLer, there's a lot of questions in this movie.
Wait, 2 million people are watching, and it started 1 minute ago.
MauLer.
Yeah,
number one on trending, baby.
Number one on trending, bro.
Dude, I wouldn't let this
stay up.
Terrorist broadcasts like this, wouldn't they just totally take it down?
Yes.
3.5 million
YouTube would take it down, yeah, for sure.
Well,
I'm actually surprised they didn't try to throw some shade at Rumble or something. Like that would be the opportunity to go after.
I don't even think they know about Rumble.
If you want to watch this, go to Kiwi Farms or something.
Yeah. Go to Reddit.
There's so many questions. The President Michelle Obama's entire plan is to get the G20 organization together to help develop a government-regulated cryptocurrency to help the poor farmers in Africa. In South Africa, where they're killing farmers
the farmers
and stealing their land.
Only the white farmers, to be fair. But
that's funny.
there was a lot of questions in this that were legitimate questions from journalists that went unanswered, and the film never explains it. Such as, where is all the money coming from for these people? Walks off, doesn't answer it. There's another question where it's like, how can we trust you with the defense of our nation if you can't look after your own children? That's a good question. Walks off, never answered it.
There are several moments where
Triggered her.
will say something, and I was sitting there like, I agree with that. And the film doesn't. Do you remember when the Prime Minister says, you carried a child from a building and someone snapped a photo, that doesn't make you Captain America? And there's like a silence of,
Well, she is black.
That is kind of true, actually.
They did acknowledge that. So she bitches about, I had to work twice as hard to get here. But later on in the film, you learn she didn't have to fucking work at all. She was in 2 seconds of combat and got a photo op of her saving a kid and used it to become president. So she didn't have to fucking try at all.
Which also is like, how is she this good at mowing down all these motherfuckers?
When she didn't have, she admits she didn't have combat experience.
She has done Groupon classes, okay?
That photo as well, like it would actually get that kind of controversy. People would be like, "What the fuck? You took that photo while you was like trying to save? What are you doing? Why are you post? Like it looks so."
Well, somebody took a photo of her, but they used it.
No, of course. I'm saying that like you know the criticism would be, did you set this up? Like, why?
Okay,
why is it like this?
I would ask that for sure.
She's a legit fraud then. That basically she ran on stolen dollar at this point.
Yeah.
Minus that saving one kid.
I don't know if I don't really know if you can say that, because she was saying the whole time how everyone was pressing her to use this, and she was trying to minimize it because she didn't really feel like she was deserving of it. Do you know what I mean? So
Fair enough.
I don't really know if you can, of all the criticisms of this shit, I don't know if that's super fair.
You know the quote unquote twist villain, which you can see coming a mile away because that woman doesn't serve any purpose in the plot other than to be the bad guy eventually. Did you love the amount of times her husband they would cut to the husband looking at her suspiciously? They did it like 3 times, and I was like, again,
foreshadowing. Dude, it was Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is in this fucking show, and the best part about the movie is she gets fucking locked up at the end. That was so good. I was like, yes, dude.
There's layers to this film.
She had to steal the valor twice as hard as a white person, though.
She did. She did.
Oh, that's the. I had to work twice as hard to get here. Why are you making life harder for me? Oh,
there's so many cringy moments where it's her with another woman or with her daughter, and it's
not
like
in the good ways.
It's just this moment of like, well, I'm black, so everything's harder, and it's like, well, clearly you got here, so
remember the fucking president? My God,
it was with Hillary where she said 100 years ago neither of us could vote, but now here we are on our way to G20 on Air Force One. It's just like
drinking mimosas on Air Force One.
There was a lot of moments like that. You know, people have a problem with a strong woman, and they're desperate to tell you that they're strong, just so you know.
The first three scenes back to back were just ideology, like crammed in. At the moment she appears on screen, you have that really weird start, which is utterly irrelevant to the rest of the movie, of just how he got the Bitcoin, and then immediately hits you with the message about how she's oppressed, she can beat up men, and women are oppressed. Those are the first 3 scenes.
It's everything you thought it was going to be from the trailer.
It's worse than I thought it was going to be.
The lady running away
film.
I thought it was going to be bad.
The crypto wallet at the beginning of the film, where she's like escaped all these different people doing all this kinds of like crazy parkour shit, and then she walks into a bar and faces her back to the door. So she just gets killed. I was like, what? Well done.
It's also a crypto
She was in
wallet.
Westworld, that chick.
It's a crypto wallet that's connected to the internet at all times, so that it gives you an update on the value of the dollar. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure that wallets are supposed to be more decentralized than that.
It was like
no idea about Bitcoin.
A gigapet,
dude,
kind of.
The only people who understand cryptocurrency less than me is Hollywood. Okay,
bank accounts.
Their understanding of technology was retarded. It's like, we need to read this thing so we can make a deep fake of your voice.
Instant deep fake.
Like
real time, just boom,
the quick brown box
done in like seconds.
It's like The thing is, they would have recordings of their voices like for hours of content.
Shad, not just that. He's sitting on the chair and he's like, "Let me explain to you in grand detail what they are trying to do here. They want me to say this phrase in order to get the amount of." I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, you moron? Like, you're saying words."
And look, I don't know anything about crypto, but the fact that this is produced by the Obamas makes me feel like this is propaganda against crypto.
Is it actually produced by the Obamas?
Well, it's a bit against Bitcoin, not crypto, because as long as it's a government funded crypto, that's fine.
Government regulated is good. But the whole thing, like Anthony Homelander's whole thing was trying to push what was a lie that the government wants to replace your currency with their own federally regulated digital currency, because the globalists would never do that. That is preposterous. Yeah. Absolutely, it's total globalist propaganda. That's what it's such a mishmash. It's hilarious. It turns into like a hilarious. It should be a parody at this point.
You can totally trace the fuckery, because like I think they wanted to evoke Homelander. He's like super unhinged at random parts of the film, and they're like, "We gotta do that." It's Anthony Starr. People want to see him go crazy. But it was funny because Ryan had mentioned as well as Gary a couple of the films that this is obviously taking inspiration of. One of the ones that didn't like realize how to copy, as far as I'm concerned, is The Rock. Right? Remember that the General Hummel's sort of motivation in that film is to get restorative like money to all of the families of the men who lost their lives and were sort of, you know, ignored by the government because of the missions they were on. So he wanted to threaten to throw rockets and shit, the VX gas, and then by the time you hit the third act, they've called his bluff, and he says, "We failed because I'm not actually going to fucking kill people," because he's like a good man. This is part of, I really like The Rock. I really enjoy it, and Hummel is ends the film a good man. But in this film, Anthony Starr has these many scenes where he's like, "My friends died," and like innocent people died, and then simultaneously just kills innocent people. Like
most through innocent people, sacrifices his own guys. Yeah,
you found that out when she's talking to him, and she basically says, "You're broken, and your damage and trauma will destroy the world." Whereas I chose differently. That was just another toxic masculinity. You go out and break.
MauLer, you tweeted about the greatest single line of dialogue ever uttered in a film.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, so I was actually going to say, because on the crypto stuff, right at the beginning, they obviously don't know what they're dealing with. That actress, the one Chris had mentioned was from Westworld, she says, "You need this Bitcoin for this to work, or this crypto wallet will be mine." I was like, fucking hell. Like, she's struggling with that. Like, she has no idea what she's saying. She's just like, I don't know, words, alien stuff.
She's very pretty.
All right, listen, the line that legit made me laugh, like truly laugh because it was funny, not just because how stupid it was when the fucking South African undercover people come in.
Oh, yeah. You
know, from working in the kitchen.
Are you from Wakanda?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
They are the Dora Milaje. They fuck, at least one of them was kind of a dude or girl. Don't care. They came out of nowhere.
I'm so confused by how all this works. If I was on set, I'd be like, "Wait, is that racist or is it no?"
Yes,
good?
Gotta check. Well, ask Ryan. He'll let you know. No, but the line you tweeted about was what was it? Here, I'll look it up and read it verbatim. I retweeted you. It's the line of dialogue towards the end where she's trying to talk him down, and she said, "You want change? You start with yourself, not with a crypto wallet."
Brilliant. And that's supposed to be like a big, payoff moment of like it's supposed to mean something.
If you want to change yourself, $150 billion is definitely going to help. Like,
you don't have to a big crypto wallet might change my life in a really impactful way.
Yeah.
I can just obey the law now. I don't need to do anything else.
Yeah. I can go straight.
You know, earlier they didn't understand technology. They didn't understand doors. There's a bit in the start where they're all escaping the original room. Like we've gone.
Feels like a personal attack.
We've gone through this secret back door nobody knows about.
It wasn't much of a secret.
All the workers use all the time. It's like, no, I had to consult the hidden manner. Like the hidden.
That actually confused me. I was like, does no one else know about that door? Did they
covered it? She said, like, "Oh, you read all the blueprints, so that gives us an advantage." And then he says, "Well, we're aware of all the blueprints too." It's like, apparently not. Like, they just left this whole fucking secret exit.
How did you like
the guy? I wish that the guy who had been her Secret Service guy, I wish that he had been the one that was.
Yeah, he was the best character in the movie.
I liked
that would have been a really good twist and interesting. But I mean, essentially, if you're a fucking black person, you're good. If you're a woman, you're good. Everybody else, you're either fucking incompetent or a villain. That was basically this.
Ryan, no women died in this movie.
True.
No. You're right.
And all the bad guys were white. And it was so bad that RogerEbert.com pointed it out. They're like, all the bad guys are white.
No shit.
Man.
It's those white
I remember saying
There's
something
too many
about
bad white guys.
a long time ago.
It's a really weird review because he says, I actually agree with all the messaging in this movie, but it makes a horrible movie. It's like, and you put 2 and 2, you're almost there, guy. You're almost realizing what the problem is.
My favorite C plot was tracking that old Asian lady going from the room to being captured to moving to the body to hand palming the knife, and then like when we're at the final big moment, Anthony Stark gets stabbed by a granny.
That was awesome. Right in the neck.
Defeated by an old Asian lady.
He goes down, right? It's you're thinking, oh, he either got stabbed in an artery in the spine or something. He goes down. And then he's perfectly fucking fine.
Yeah.
Not like struggling. He's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
But rather than shoot all of them, which he had the opportunity to do because they were distracted, he runs off. He goes and fucks off.
There are 3 significant instances in the film where she'll put someone down and not make sure they're dead, and then they'll get back up and we'll get another fight. It's fucking cringe. Her Secret Service guy had to take a bullet because she's retarded. She didn't like execute the guy on the floor. She just hoped because she grilled his face that he'll be down forever.
No. MauLer, go earlier than that. It's like these 2 guys are standing with their backs turned facing the hallway and they could easily just pop them off, and then they decide we're not going to kill them. Let's try and incapacitate them first.
No, they needed a scene.
And then the granny jumps down the chute.
I know.
That was the best way. Yeah, just silently.
Just didn't tell anybody.
Okay, I'm no military strategist, but I would think that taking your elite U.S. Special Forces strike team tasked with protecting the president and putting them all in one room together is probably not a good idea. And somehow they didn't notice the bomb that was under a table. This elite U.S. Special Forces strike force. Fucking what?
They're having an off day, Gary.
and then Manny brings it up later and goes, well, if that was the first thing I would have done was taken out that strike in one room. It's like, well, maybe you should have brought that up earlier, Manny. Like, what the fuck?
Look, he's listening.
Once they get down that chute, she can't stop fucking reminding the audience that she's gonna save the kitchen staff. She cannot leave the kitchen staff must be saved. I thought it was really funny. None of that gets mentioned before the shoot happens, right? They spot that they literally hear a guy say, I'm gonna fucking shoot you if you don't tell me like where the other people are or something. They hear something like that. So I thought like, oh, so they're gonna have to go in to save these guys. No mention of those innocent civilians getting executed. They just go like, I don't know. Maddie says, I don't know if I can take out 2 people. It's like, you got the ambush. Boom, boom. That is it. Like
and then it backs into them. It's also such an easy kill. And there's like, let's actually go around and make it the most difficult kind of, takedown possible.
It would have been one thing if they set it up where they couldn't use their guns because it would have made noise or whatever. But the first thing she does is fucking shoot him. Yeah. So, like, instead of setting up a very crazy electrocution scenario, right? Like, just fucking shoot the motherfuckers.
It threw him in the fryer.
You're like Scott Evil. He's right there. I've got a gun. Shoot him.
No, I will electrocute him.
If this is based on Michelle Obama, I'm surprised there wasn't a scene where she like dropped all these photos of her pregnant. Like, oh, whoops, I'll just clean these up.
Well, it's fantasy.
Electrocution, by the way, they didn't show how he got out of that situation because the whole room was just filling with water and it was electrified. So I'm not sure. Did he do a big jump?
I mean, he was on top of that, like. He was on top of that fucking rolling cart thing. So maybe
I was going to say if it was a metal table, that would be bad. But he has
the metal rolling cart.
Wheels. Yeah.
I just want to see him on like a little janitor's thing, pushing himself with a mop. It's like
doing like a gondola song on the way. Yeah.
How does he get the exposure? How did he electrocute the water again? Because wouldn't that just trip the circuit breaker and like?
Probably, yeah.
But
don't ask questions. Just enjoy content.
As we're talking about a movie where a little rebellious, misunderstood teenage. Did I say ad? Fucking Invisalign. Invisalign, goddammit. I sound like Chris Gore.
Yeah, Invisalign makes you confuse Shad and Az.
Oh, did I say Az? I meant Shaz.
It heard like
Shaz.
Az.
Oh, sorry.
I'll take it. I love Az.
Sorry,
I'm
I
happy to
apologize
represent
to Invisalign. That's just the bad brains due to drugs. But we're talking about a movie that where a little teenage girl is able to broadcast Wi-Fi over an antenna. And she's going to use a set of devices to I forgot how she explained it, MauLer, but she's all I'm going to use these thingamajiggies to hook up my computer.
It was just like in Black Panther with Shuri. Like, ooh,
they said she learned it from
components.
Mr. Robot as like an explanation.
Yes. And her technical explanation was I'm going to remove some components so I can broadcast to the government because I could just know how to do it.
You should have just said mainframe several times.
Yes,
they need to tick that checkbox, girls in STEM, and so the daughter is.
She walked up and said, I'm going to reverse the polarity of these components into a quantum state. That would have made more sense.
Gary,
they calling them RFID. They kept calling them RFID equipment rather than just key cards.
Yeah.
At this point, she should have just bypassed the compressor and then it.
Yes, exactly.
I bypassed the plot.
So on the note, actually, of that, Manny, I actually quite liked the payoff where he was fucking outraged that she left him to go and take care of himself, and that he made it very clear he is going to die for her. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
He was the best character in this.
That was cool.
No, his whole like dying next to the circuit board or whatever, turning on the lights and stuff. That was a good scene. Like I liked his stuff. The guy put in a good, seriously, good performance, best character in the movie. That guy can act. He should get more jobs.
Making me think he did the heroic thing as well of I could have left this and saved myself, but instead I came back to die to save somebody greater than myself and sacrifice for other people. Yeah, whereas he was just girl boss. There's
doing his job to a T, which on the note, you said that she only said goodbye to her daughter. Some of this struck me was, do you remember the kids are in one of the rooms and they have an agent with them? She goes out and gets shot. And then the dad's coming back with another agent. That agent gets shot. The dad takes out the guy or whatever. And the kids are like terrified. And he says, don't panic. That agent, he did his job. It's
yeah.
And I was like, what about the girl? He didn't mention that she was dead as well. I was like, oh, well, bye. Because he would have had to walk over her corpse to get into the room. So.
But it's the same attitude of going into a hotel room, just trashing it and going, it's their job to clean it. Like, you're on levels.
But, yeah.
Well, all right. So, like, there is a part of it that's like trying to calm your fucking kids down after they just saw someone get killed, right? Mm-hmm. Like I can
literally only
highlight
that he didn't appreciate that the girl died for them too.
But they didn't see that. So
he walked over her corpse to get in the room, Ryan.
So what
do you think happened? She shot herself.
She fell on some bullets. What was the creative decision behind making all the bad guys Aussies? I'm confused by this.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, listen to yourself.
Some of them right?
It's just
War Criminal Island.
They were bad fake Aussie accents.
There was South Africa. There was South Africans. Anthony Starr is Australian. Yeah. And there's South Africans and there was Germans. The guy going Schatzi.
German was my favorite. When he was like, how do you schnitzing in the sauna?
I'm going to get some schnitzel. You want some schnitzel, Ruben? Schatzi, come outside.
Playing in the pool?
Was that his normal accent? Is he Australian?
Anthony Starr's either Australian or New Zealand. I don't remember which one.
I can't remember which one.
To be honest, they sound the fucking same. So
racism.
But yeah, Anthony Starr's not American.
He's a Kiwi? Okay. He's a Kiwi.
Yeah, same fucking difference.
Whatever, not American. I'm with Ryan. Not American. That's all.
One fucking island away.
That explains it.
But yeah, I think it was just probably they were surrounded by a decent number of people that he knew, and he had fucking either been in combat with, or they were he worked with them at some point in time. But obviously, they had others come in because there were different accents throughout.
I mean, they were depicting Australians way more badass than what we are in real life now. So it was just taking me out.
It was
of
a
the
throwback day to
back to the
Australians
80s.
of the 80s. Yeah.
I could have really liked Anthony Starr's like character in a different movie. Like I feel like I could have enjoyed it.
Because they kept throwing in pieces where we're supposed to, like, you know, do you remember when he spots one of the last guys has got his like throat ripped out or something on the way to the helicopter, and he's like, "Oh god," he's like, "Oh no." I was sitting there like, movie, I can't feel anything for him because he doesn't give a shit about killing innocent people constantly. It doesn't work.
That's the thing in the beginning. In the beginning, before everything goes to hell, and he's in kind of the room overseeing it.
Yeah,
the way he's acting. He seems anxious. He seems almost like he might regret something. You know, he doesn't exactly seem totally sure of himself. And I thought that was interesting, especially if his character had a more deep meaning than just, I want $150 billion in Bitcoin.
But dude, I think they should have committed. You can have him gradually get more insane and unhinged, but why the fuck did you ruin the whole motivation of, like, don't have him kill innocent people with joy, basically.
We're crashing the global market for $150 billion. That's like nothing. I mean, it's so fucking retarded. It's like, put a bigger number. Straight out of Dr. Evil, $1 billion. I mean, like $150 billion. Yeah, I know you'll take it, but like you're crashing the global market. I don't know how your money is worth anything, and I know it's some cockamamie plan to get more people are investing in it because they believe the deep fakes, but it's fucking stupid. Well, that's what I mean. Aim higher, buddy.
There's nothing I would not do in this world for $150 billion.
Oh, really? I can think of a couple
things. Think of all the damage this would do globally would mainly be the people on the bottom rungs of society, and like no one deals with that with him. It's just like you're gonna do more damage to innocent people than anyone in history by doing this. And he's just gonna be like, I like money, and then it'll switch over when he needs to be sympathetic. He'll be like, no, I lost my men.
Well, no, because he didn't care about his men before. There's a scene where with the hostages, and he's like, all of you will stay here, no matter what happens, you will die for this, you are not backing out. And then they all die. He doesn't care about them. It's only that guy just before the helicopter that he cares that get shot.
He's super inconsistent. Like, he keeps flipping back and forth. And that's the thing, because they got a fucking good actor. So I wish whatever, the movie's a clown. But if they wanted it to work, like, you know, fucking redraft, make him, I guess I'd be more than interested to see him go more and more unhinged as the film goes on. It's kind of like, you know, Hans Gruber.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was like some kind of other storyline that existed between those two that like, no, we can't do that.
Did you hear the director said that she made this movie to change culture? For real.
Okay.
She said that.
Yeah. Oh, gonna change her with this movie.
Yeah, it is.
Change of careers.
You know, on the note as well of like potential ideas, this is not actually a film I would scrap everything from. We've kind of been over a couple of, if not all, the best things so far. But there was an idea I was having when I was watching. I was like, how cool would it be if you had the main security, so just two like primary or maybe one, just really, really fucking good top tier bodyguard for each of the major world leaders, all in that room. And then they realize like there's a mission in which that everyone could be saved if they work together, right? So you had like a team of 5 or 6 of
all
the
men,
number one security guards from all over the world, basically, and that they all need to work together to die hard their way through whatever the fuck's going on. And I was like, that would be really cool because, you know, first of all, you have all those different cultures, all their different skill sets, all their different familiarities, and then you have the angle of just how much they even want to say to each other, how much do they want to work with each other, how much they want to let each other know that they know. And then you could have scenes where they gradually maybe start talking about, you know, the people they protect and why and stuff. It'd just be like, cool. Ooh.
And there could be some good one-upmanship. It's like, I'm from Russia, and we do it this way, and it's better.
Yeah.
And, you know, American-made, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's a good concept.
They showed with a bodyguard that when they're not obsessed with ideology, they can actually make a decent character that does fun stuff. Like, the majority of the bad things in this movie come from, we need this really stupid character to do this really stupid thing for ideological reasons.
Exactly.
So we've got to force some ridiculous, nonsensical thing into the plot to make it happen.
Well, it's like I said,
focus on being an action movie.
The only reason why the good guys win is because they're not as incompetent as the bad guys. They're both incompetent.
Well, okay, good guys, globalists.
Yes.
Comics, the globalists win.
Well,
the friendly
guys,
the friendly globalists who just want to help people.
Oh,
they win. They win the day. They're working together to make the world a better place.
Yes.
I even I even thought at the end that, because there was the question of where's all the money coming from these farmers. I thought at the end they were going to set this up with the Bitcoin that they recovered from the other bloke. And just be like, well, now look, this can be used for good, and it would prove their message. No, nothing. Like, no, those countries
is the Bitcoin gone forever because it fell off the cliff?
I guess
It's got to be waterproof, right?
Digital currency, it shouldn't be. But
it's just gone. It's just
I love
gone.
that, by the way, just the classic. It falls and he just goes, no.
And I don't know shit about crypto, nor do I want to. I don't care. I'm too
Your
old.
wallet
I
is
don't give a
just tied
shit.
to a-
Good luck. My kids will have to deal with it. But Disparu, that is a currency that's totally based on electricity. So God forbid we have a Carrington event or something like that, or everybody's broke. I think it's a horrible idea. I believe in tangibility. Call me old fashioned.
We'll go
if
back to
electricity
gold
went, the
bottle
banking
cap.
system would go down anyway. But the one of the good things about the crypto wallet is as long as you remember the words, you can recover it from anywhere. So he didn't need that in the first place.
That's what I didn't understand about the crypto wallet. It's not an
That's a movie
You
thing
have
for
to
sure.
remember
That's the
18
thing.
words.
Well, it depends if it's cold storage. If it's in cold storage, and if he loses the device, it's gone.
Ultimate boomer take. Okay, Mr. X-Class solar flare takes out your entire savings. We'll see when we're all in the 1800s, and our currency will be VHS porn and gasoline. We'll see who's laughing last.
Gasoline.
If that happens, the same results would
spare your lives.
I mean, fiat currency would become useless as well.
I would have to have money to give a shit about any of this fucking. Oh no, the Dow dropped 5%. Oh, too bad I don't have anything in there.
But Ryan,
Yeah, it didn't bother me a bit. My comic books remained valuable.
Even more
Until
valuable.
Marvel makes a movie out of them.
You know, it's funny. That's
If those solar flares actually hit in Gary's own personal little
Dude,
like
when
town,
Marvel-
the currency would be comics.
It would be, but when Marvel used to make a movie, when something was coming up, it would shoot the value up of a comic, and I think you're right. I think it's actually devaluing
Yeah,
it.
now you can tell they make a couple weeks before the movie.
So, who's the audience of this film? Because traditional action is guys. but-
MSNBC.
Yeah.
Pro globalist.
The FNT podcast.
Yeah, us.
because they're not trying to target a male audience with this.
No.
And so, what, they expect women to be into a heavy action flicks? Like, no, I don't think so.
Michelle
Unless
Obama fans?
They love them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They think all people are the same and interchangeable. So as long as you just put what they want in, they'll like action movies the same as men. It's just that men are in action movies, so they don't like them.
Exactly.
It's the same people they're making Doctor Who for, and Star Trek for, and The Acolyte for,
Yeah,
and Marvel
have you
Comics
seen?
for. And
Have you seen that
everything.
Cutie Gatwa is now doing Shakespeare?
Yeah, why
Like,
not?
like literally, he's buggering Shakespeare, or
Well, it's a really homoerotic poster where a guy's biting his thumb as Cutie's.
let me
behind
guess,
him.
it's gay Shakespeare.
Is he wearing a dress?
We've only seen the poster, but it looks like it. Yes.
Okay.
They're going to be shaking spears.
I think we're spear fighting.
Crossing swords.
You know, like going back to G20, you can understand, all right, if it's a male president, a guy can kind of relate to that as like, all right, it's this grizzled old war veteran who's now a leader and he has to, you know, get out his old skills to take on the bad guys. And it worked with Air Force One. It worked with, Olympus Has Fallen, or the other ones where guys can kind of get into that and almost relate it and pretend that I could see myself in that role, whatever, grizzled war hero, power fantasy, whatever. But as soon as you switch it up to a female, there's going to be a disconnect there. And it's like, all right, what would attract a male audience? Well, traditionally, they would make the character really hot. They would cast a really good actress in the role, and then they'd have an action flick, and it would be enjoyable. That's what the first Tomb Raider films would, you know, it was a simple formula. But so now we're going to have like a middle-aged to old, you know, woman in that role, and she's going to be the kick-ass action star. And what guy is going to be attracted to this setup, this concept? It's just...
Someone who wants to be married to a strong woman.
Okay, like
male feminist.
Hollywood's obsession with like warrior grandmas now, going all the way back to Sigourney Weaver in fucking Defenders, is only overshadowed by their obsession of having pregnant women in battle. Which Fantastic Four apparently is gonna, like, Sue's pregnant at the beginning of the movie. I don't know if she'll be showing, but she'll be pregnant. and of course there's Avatar, and of course there's Into the Spider-Verse, and then let's not even talk about Marvel Comics where they have multiple pregnant women in fucking battle. Like, it's the weirdest fucking thing. It's that's supposed to be empowering. Endangering your baby is empowering, because you could still be pregnant and have your career of fighting bad guys in space. Because that's a female empowerment message.
The baby holds you back from being a boss.
Yeah, those babies just hold you back, right, Chrissy? Those kids
that's
just fucking
that's
hold you back.
No, the baby is wearing a mech. That's what the mum is. The baby.
If they had,
it's actually mom's a mech for the baby.
If they had limited like the cringe, ridiculous Viola Davis combat to what we saw in the beginning, and say like the elevator sequence, right, where they kind of
struggles just getting choked out.
Yeah, exactly. Where she kind of gets surprised, is able to like hit one guy and push him down, and all of a sudden just gets started getting dominated by somebody else, and the other guy has to come in and do all the real work. If they had limited it to that, it wouldn't have been that ridiculous.
They did, Ryan, in the beginning. It felt like they were trying until diverse female character whose name I can't be bothered to remember gets a scar or gets the piece of her dress or something like that, and then saves Viola Davis. But you're right. Like, Manny's doing all the hard work with the other guy, but it's the woman who saves her, and then Viola Davis ends up saving Manny at the end of that. So it felt like in the scene, I'm like, okay, they're trying. Like, they're showing she's getting over. Oh, never mind.
She's getting choked to death, and I'm like,
it's a fucking crazy whiplash of a scene though, because it opens with her like smashing down and doing some kind of hero lore, and I was like, what the fuck? It should be Manny. Manny should obviously open the hatch and shoot, right?
I feel like they implied that she fell or something.
Really?
Yeah, I think it opened underneath her, and I fully expected a Captain America scene. That's what I thought was going to
happen. Superhero landing.
It almost starts out that way. She gets the gun and shoots the guy, and then she starts to dominate. But then the tables turn. But they abandoned that. Then they just do retarded nonsense, and it's like, let's have these guys come in one at a time so she can easily line up and shoot him, and then have a big bad white guy come out of an elevator without a gun because they want to fight.
Reasons.
That is also that scene itself is entirely everything that happens is done by specific characters for a reason. It's the white British guy who bangs his thing on and gives them away. Then it's the diverse bodyguard that drops down to save her life. Then it's a woman that saves her. Like, everything in this movie is identity based. You know who's going to do what before it happens. Even the twist at the end, it's a white woman that betrays her. Like, every single character is done that way.
There was a scene that was very much for women. I don't know if you caught it, but it was like the high heel scene where he takes the Italian like prime minister so long to take off her high heels, and she goes to Viola Davis. She's like, I'm not tall and confident like you, and then she takes off her heels, which are like platforms, which are like not even the least. She's not even wearing like the least uncomfortable heels possible. Like, it could have been worse. But then she takes them off, and then she's like way shorter, and I was like, okay, this is like very much for women. It's I was like, what do you? Is this a chick flick or is this an action flick? What do you pick one?
That was the most Madam Web scene for me.
It was
when they're escaping in that van. That actually got me laughing. I thought it was very funny.
When they were escaping in the limo,
they live
in the fucking limo, and they wait. So it's an armored limo, and they're having missiles fired at them, fucking missiles, and there's a blockade of like Humvees in front of it, and they
get shot by like 1 billion bullets at one point.
They get shot by 1 billion bullets. These limos, they're tough, but like, I think they have their limits when it gets hit by 3 fucking missiles, which launches it over the blockade and flips, and they're fine.
And
they go,
a few scratches.
Hit. There's no direct hit. It's like, I thought these missiles had good tracking, but they're only landing next to it.
They're landing next to it.
They landed right behind it so they can propel the vehicle, and it does a full like CGI flip, and it looks terrible. And I was laughing so hard.
It was funny,
it was so good. It was so good.
My favorite bit comes afterwards, where you now have the British Prime Minister talking to the American military, going, your president is going to unlock these doors.
You should trust your president.
Like, how do we know this will work? It's like, you should really trust your own president, It's like, what? She's your commander-in-chief. Do as you're pissing told.
And we're not going to listen to some fucking Brit, okay?
Well, no, because we're not going to listen to a woman. There was like, he convinces them in the end. The American military is led by the British.
This movie's hilarious. This movie's fucking hilarious. I had such a good time watching it, dude.
Do you remember when she was doing the press conference and she says, like, my uncle once said, he should give a man a fish and he'll feed him. And I was like, Your uncle. Everyone said this. Is one of the famous quote of all time. What do you mean your uncle says it?
Yeah, my uncle came up with that one.
So everybody was just not bringing that up. It's like, yeah, we all know this quote, lady. Like
all of our uncles said this. Okay.
Yeah. And you're right, Gary. Like this film really feels like.
Did she steal that quote from Jesus?
Yes. No, her uncle stole it.
Did your uncle also turn water into wine?
Maybe her uncle was Jesus. You don't know.
Yeah, this film really feels like just a woman empowerment film that barely no women are going to bother watching. It doesn't understand what it wants to be, what a potential audience is, and it's just a mishmash.
It's a mesh. I looked. You can't find it. I'm guessing it's Amazon's, and it was Jennifer Sulke. And by the way, if anybody questions why she was fired, don't.
I'm gonna guess up to top this, and we're like, no, get out.
Yeah, get out, bitch. I'd say minimum 100 million, 150 million minimum.
Yeah, because I was thinking like this has got to cost Amazon. A decent amount. Like they've got actors, they've got special effects. You know, this is a lot of stuff.
You have to remember, Amazon have just set up their own international distribution system for the cinema, and they're going to release like 12 to 14 movies next year in the cinema. So this is like them preparing for it. So these are the kind of things you're going to be getting.
Just practice. Okay, that's a good excuse. This was just a practice movie.
It was Viola Davis's uncle who said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country."
They had some fucking shocking exposition, by the way. You know, Hillary Clinton, when they're first like talking to each other, and she says, "When did you start pulling your punches? Remember when you labeled me a warmonger during the campaign?" And then her response, which is one of the fucking clunkiest lines ever, "Yes. And then I came across as looking like I was jealous of a war hero and kissed the nomination goodbye. But then we became friends again." What the fuck?
Thank you for catching me up on this relationship that apparently because she disappears throughout the entire fucking movie. After that.
Yeah, but they keep like making sure you understand she's still here. She's still here. And I was like, she's gonna be evil. There's nothing else to do.
That twist itself is really weird because she goes, "What, do you want to go with them? I saw you hide that hard drive." I'm like, it's $150 billion. I'd be hiding the piss. She just goes, "It's $150 billion. I'm not with them. I just wanted the money."
Yeah.
Perfectly legit.
I thought she was just hiding it so he didn't see it, and then he was
at first.
When it slid over and she grabbed it, I was like, "Oh, she's gonna say like, I've got it. Don't worry." And that the twist will be she's evil. And she's just like, "No." She just immediately says, "You're evil because you've got it." It's like, what if she literally picked it up to give it to you?
I know you have no idea.
You could have assumed it's because the other guy left without getting it that made her suspicious. But then it turns out he doesn't even know he's lost it until he's in the helicopter.
Oh my god, that was so stupid. It's like the most important thing, and he just didn't even.
Oh no, I forgot my wallet.
Oopsie doopsie. Well, it's a damn fine bad movie. I actually, when we saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, circled that one on the calendar, and I didn't regret it for 1 second. Review incoming. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to Marvel because man, they're having a tough time.
Even more good news.
Even more good news. On the heels of Daredevil being a complete flop. Ryan did a great video on that. We're going to talk about that as well. Thunderbolts.
I'll be good.
Thunderbolts not tracking very well. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Fantastic Four is on everybody's mind today because we got actors coming out and saying stupid shit before a movie. We've never seen that before.
Nope.
And this really lends to what I've heard. This is Sue Storm's movie, and that was rumored a long time ago. And listen, as an observer of the MCU, that's the easiest guess to make of all time, that they'll focus on Sue. And they're like, well, they couldn't be that dumb. They're that dumb. This is going to be Sue's movie. Now, Sue has had focus before in the comic books, and they're taking this from Hickman's run a little bit. But what would have worked best is Reed and Sue working together as equals. Nobody like, and what they're going to do. And this is why they cast Pedro, probably because he's the only guy who would take the part. But he plays a good subservient man, and he'll take the background. And this is you establishing Reed Richards, the smartest guy. Well, they already did in Dr. Strange Mom and blew his fucking head up. And then, of course, there's female Silver Surfer. But yeah, Sue's going to find out she's pregnant in the beginning, and this is her movie. And I know for a fact it's her movie. Like, she gets all the big moments at the end. And then there's Johnny Storm. We can put that up, X-Ray Girl. So Joseph Quinn and Vanessa Kirby reveal how the updated how they updated Fantastic Four characters. Let's just say for the modern audience, okay? From previous iterations.
Oh, great.
This is they're so fucking stupid. Just make a fucking movie. You know what? You can make a Fantastic Four movie and not mention gender politics at all. You know that's an option, right? They're a family that bickers, that works together. It's the first family of Marvel, and it looks like it's just Disney Marvel being Disney Marvel. They can't fucking change, and they get what they deserve.
But what are their pronouns? I must know.
Fuck if I know. I'm honestly surprised they didn't make Johnny Storm gay, Ryan. But
well, there's still time for that.
There's still time. Don't worry about it.
Blaming.
At this point, but yeah. So Johnny is a player. Okay, he's a player. That's what he always was in the comic books. But now he's going to be sensitive to people's feelings. And that sucks because I think it's good casting. And I think Vanessa Kirby's a good casting. I like the look of the thing. It looks like Kirby's thing. But this, along with female Silver Surfer, and oh man, expect Johnny and Sue Storm to feel a bit updated. How can you update something you've never had?
We had it in 2000s. It was great. Okay.
But this is Marvel. So they're updating what from the Fox movies?
Sounds like
the Fox movies are going to be better than this movie, the way it sounds.
Oh, yeah. Is that a surprise, though?
Not really.
No. Not in the slightest.
Wait till they get to the
better
fucking
than the last one that came out.
Yeah, they can't help themselves.
Oh, Fanforstic? Maybe. Yeah, like I don't consider Fanforstic real. That's not a real movie.
That was really fucking bad.
No, it's no. Roger Corman's Fantastic Four remains the best, period. With a little over 3 months to go before the movie premiere starts, Joseph Quinn and Vanessa Kirby broke down how they updated their classic characters. For Quinn, it was about finding what made him interesting to a modern.
Oh, there you go.
Wait.
the modern audience.
Wow.
There you go. I sat myself and Marvel studio boss Kevin Feige, who still doesn't get enough criticism. He's currently the male Kathleen Kennedy at this point. We're speaking about previous iterations of the film, and where we are culturally. Fucking A. They haven't learned a fucking thing.
No, they haven't.
This just means in Hollywood, and I'm sure if they ask all their friends, this is bang on point for where they are. So they feel as if this is what everybody believes in, and they just, I don't know why nobody else likes it.
But I thought Marvel was turning around.
He told Entertainment Weekly on Thursday he was branded as this womanizing devil-may-care guy. Yes, branded, literally branded, lasted for decades. Nobody had a single fucking problem with it, including women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you gonna like what's more attractive to women? A guy who's devil may care a little bit, doesn't give a shit a little bit, might say something, might actually hit on you. But this one's not gonna hit on you. He's gonna listen to you. He's gonna be a male feminist.
Well, surely the definition of womanizing is that you are attractive to women. Like, otherwise, it's a bit tough.
Yeah. Well, you want to make a woman as dry as the fucking Mojave Desert? Be a male feminist. Okay.
Yep.
Talking about your feelings.
But is that sexy these days? I don't think so. Is it sexy these days, Chrissy? X-ray girl?
No. Hit on us.
Like a man to cry on the first date.
Make us damn.
Please don't. That's happened to me. It sucks.
Oh no!
What? Really?
Well, okay, what's the context?
Don't air Mark out like that. How fucking dare you?
No, we walked by somewhere where his brother passed away, and then we're like,
oh my god!
Oh no!
This is the meme. He's allowed to cry if his brother dies. That is hilarious.
Cry. It just the next date wasn't gonna happen.
It's a bit weird to take on the first date to your brother's grave. That is a bit unusual.
Opens up to you about his dead brother, and then you're like, nope.
Yeah.
That's worse. I took a woman on a first date to see Philadelphia. That was a bad move.
This is where I went to prison.
I didn't fucking cry though.
I'm sorry.
God damn, X-ray girl. That's cold-blooded. Oh my god, you're crying. Yeah, it's about my dead brother. I don't care.
Next. Comforting a patient and just anyways.
This version of Johnny
is a great movie about the warnings of being gay. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a damn good movie. It's not a good first date movie. You know what I mean? It's just not. This version of Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings. Meanwhile, when Kirby took on the Invisible Woman, she went into it looking to figure out how to make her feel like less of a doormat than she actually was in the 60s. Okay, like in the 60s comics, dude.
That's a great start. Take a big dump on this.
It was the 60s.
Vanessa obviously read all of the 60s comics. You know, she's an expert at this point.
But she didn't read the 70s or Burns or anything. And, if you make it like the 80s comics where it's egalitarian, where they work together, and we have to have the woman being the boss because we've never done that before in a film in the last 10 years, particularly in Marvel. The Fantastic Four first trips, what's it? Because First Steps is such a fucking retarded name.
So
God damn it!
It's because there's a baby, Gary. But
I don't care. So what?
I'm just saying. Just to go back to the Johnny Storm thing, like this is like making a Bond for the Me Too era, right? Yep. You're taking the character of Johnny Storm. The reason you're adapting Fantastic Four is to get these characters. And it's the same thing we talk about for Lord of the Rings or for anything else. The reason you're adapting is because people care about these characters. You're already going out of your way to make them not those characters. Johnny Storm and the way he acts, not just from, dating around and flirting with people and doing stuff like this, but his entire attitude about how cocky he is, how arrogant he is, how brash he is. That's an important part of who he is. And it's one of the things that leads to conflict between, well, he did something and Ben doesn't really like or appreciate the way that he did that or talked about that, or it creates tension with this person or gets them in a little bit of heat. That's an important part of his character and how this entire 4-person team works together. So when you start to do things like that, because I don't know if people will be okay with him flirting with a woman in 2025, you're starting to ruin the entire aspect of the Fantastic Four that people found interesting in the first place.
Period.
Yep.
And then there's Female Silver Surfer, which is fucking retarded. Is retarded as the name First Steps and Brand New Day and No Way Home and Spider-Man, Here He Comes. That would actually be a better title, as we talked about before.
And People in Black. Like, we shouldn't call them the Men in Black anymore. So, oh God.
Men in Noir.
The Fantastic Four First Steps is the first crack at adapting Marvel's first family into the MCU. The film is set in retro-futuristic 1960s on a different Earth than the majority of Marvel's films have been taken place. The majority are other ones. Have they been filmed there? Because of that, director Matt Shackman, who has not directed a movie before, who also was involved in D+ series WandaVision.
Oh, great.
Said the film feels much more standalone than other MCU properties do. Well, we'll see about that. You could take it. They learn nothing, and they need this is Marvel, so they have a huge win with Deadpool and Wolverine, and we all know why. It's a gimmick. It was a fucking gimmick. You used all the Fox characters, and somehow you survived connecting it to Loki. And people loved it. I had fun watching it, but I knew this doesn't fix the problem. This just, stops the leak, stops the bleeding for a little while. Let's see what you follow up with. Well, they followed up with Captain African American, and now we got the Thunderbolts, which is tracking. Do we have an article for that? I don't know if Ryan's still around, but
box office here. Yeah, box office theory currently has the tracking at 67 to 82 million opening weekend. So pinpoint 76 million, which is significantly less than the Minecraft movie. What I love, though, is the estimated total domestic they have right now projected is around 219 million, which Minecraft will easily overtake.
Well, so right now, Thunderbolts opening weekend is, depending on where you look, Box Office Pro, like you said, is somewhere between 65 and 85. Hollywood Reporter came out. They think between 63 and 77 with a midpoint of about 70. Captain America Brave New World just came out. That opened to $89 million in its opening weekend. So whichever number you take, 70, 77, 76, 75, and projections are just projections. We saw Minecraft blow them out of the water. But that happens a little more often for these family-oriented films that have kind of more walk-up business and less bookings way in advance than something like a new MCU movie. They get those down a little bit better. That's significantly less than Captain America: Brave New World. And if it's on the lower end of those projections, it would make it effectively the second lowest box office opening they've had in history, right? If it gets down below 70, unless you count Thor, the First Avenger, and Incredible Hulk, which with inflation, they even outperform what it would be getting at $70-ish million. And I just don't, to be honest, I'm more interested to watch Thunderbolts than maybe any of the fucking Marvel stuff we've seen over the past couple of years. But I don't think anyone cares. Because I think it actually could be an interesting movie, but I don't think anyone fucking cares about these characters. They're all extras and tag-alongs with the exception of Bucky.
Yeah, the only chance it has is if somehow it's good. Like if somehow it's able to just, get that good word of mouth going but that's a huge if, right? It would have to have basically the energy of a Guardians of the Galaxy, which right now doesn't seem like it's going to, but if it does, it's the only chance it has.
Yeah. I've been on a bit of a roller coaster thinking about Thunderbolts because I'm annoyed that that they've abandoned any of the source material and everything like that. But now I'm so ambivalent. It's dead to me. I don't care. That now I'm kind of looking forward to the train wreck. I was like, it's coming. Let's see how bad it really is.
Well, they're presenting Yelena of all people as the leader as Ryan pointed out, it should be fucking Bucky.
Oh,
now
100%.
like Bucky's the one who goes out and recruits him and stuff. So maybe he'll be a co-lead or I don't really care.
Takes a break from his congressional run.
His congressional run. What the fuck? And he's in it. And I would have loved to see Sentry like if done right.
Done right, hell yeah.
But yeah, like if they like kill all these characters by the end.
They're not gonna.
No, they're not.
The best, but Task Manager will get the axe. I think up there.
Yeah.
Man, like they could have actually fit in a more accurate Thunderbolts, rendition to this point in the MCU perfectly, where the Avengers seems to not be around and this new superhero group appears, filling the role, and it's really secretly a group of villains and stuff. That could have worked perfectly. It's because they need a group, to take on the larger threats. But now it's just all the rejects now, just thrown together. But I wish they would actually rename it Dark Avengers at this point because it's nothing to do with Thunderbolts. Anyway.
You got 3 like pseudo Captain Americas.
Yeah, I know.
Extra girl. Pull up the article.
Yeah, extra
pull
girl.
up. Yeah, well, I asked earlier.
Technically 4 if you include Taskmaster, right? Because
Taskmaster's everybody, but
but he has the shield, and so like that's she's so forgettable.
Are we talking about the character or the stunt actor?
The one who's in it for 3 seconds or the entire movie.
Yeah. At least the Task Manager looks like a girl. Okay, at least it's not a big old fucking dude with his twig and berries.
They gave her boob armor, Shad.
They gave her boob armor.
They did, just to make sure it is a woman this time.
No Zemo in the Thunderbolts. No Zemo in the Thunderbolts chat makes no fucking sense.
No, it's not Thunderbolts.
Perfect character for it. He's a good character. He actually walked out of Captain America and Winter Soldier, and he came out unscathed. Which is incredible.
One of the 3 characters that remained in terms of the MCU's like coherency, because John Walker currently is good, but they'll probably destroy him by the end of this film.
Yeah, they literally have the perfect setup to the concept because no Avengers around. They need a new superhero team. Zemo's just sitting there to become Citizen V and propose as the hero and everything, but it's not the Thunderbolts. They're just like the Dark Avengers. It is. Let's just see the train wreck.
The
now.
Dark Avengers.
Dark.
Have you found one, Ryan? Could you find it?
No,
what's the article? What's the article about
the
Thunderbolts tracking?
I put it in the private chat.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Thanks, Odin. Yeah, helps to pay attention to the private chat. Every co-host.
I don't see it directly.
I don't have to.
5-week box office tracking and forecast. Final Destination Bloodlines. Early prospects for Sinners. Is that coming out this weekend? Sinners?
I don't know. Warfare comes out. I really want to see Warfare. I've heard good things about it.
So,
Sinners is out next weekend,
and also
The Accountant 2 a week after that.
You want to know some gossip about Sinners? Well, it's not about the movie itself. It's about what other movie it affected at another studio. Blade.
Yeah.
It's the reason because Blade was going to do something very similar to Sinners, and that's why they scrapped the script.
That's funny.
Which is hilarious. And Ryan Coogler's directing Sinners, and Blade is fucking done. I've told you guys that it's done. Like they're not going to do a Blade movie now.
Probably for the best.
But no, there was an article out there. Oh God, it was they were having Eternals like tracking. Here, I'll do it.
So there's one right there. If you look at Hollywood Reporter that I just put in, that talks about the 70-ish million. I think Box Office Theory has it pegged a little bit higher, but yeah. But it all depends on where you go, right? Some will be like Hollywood Reporter says, tracking for fair $70 million opening. IndieWire will say, has an Eternals level opening. And then others will say, this looks like shit.
Yeah. The difference is that like the Hollywood Reporter, all them, like they use more traditional models, which as Minecraft showed, very rarely these days seem to be very accurate. That's why I prefer like the Box Office Theories versus them, but it's not looking good no matter where you go for this.
Right. So it's tracking under the Eternals?
Yes, under the Eternals, under Shang-Chi, under Captain America Brave New World. I mean, pretty much the only thing it's higher than recent release-wise would be the Marvels. Lower than Black Widow. Yeah. Now, if it hits the upper echelon, that kind of 76, 77, that would be just slightly by a few $1 million higher than Eternals or Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm. Marvel's Thunderbolt asterisk, and I don't really care what that thing is there for. I don't give a fuck. Tracking for fair. 70 million US opening. The superhero pick introducing a new team of anti-heroes and villains to the big screen. That's totally not like the Suicide Squad. Hopes to grow that number by the time it kicks off the summer box office season, May 2nd, which is not far away.
And I hate these freaking articles like where like, oh, it's a pretty fair opening. It's like, yeah, when you compare it to everything else that came out in January and February, oh, sure, it looks fair. But when you're actually comparing it to other things that you should be, like everything else in that franchise, especially the ones that were the big successes, this is one of the worst openings. But it's all about framing.
Well, when it beats when you compare it to Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher from the 80s, it's doing great.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of marketing for movies has always gone off. You need to see this because everybody else is watching it. And when nobody's watching it, they're still trying to rely on the old marketing tactics because they haven't really evolved with the dying industry.
You need to see it because no one else has.
Right. Oh, FOMO. Like FOMO's gone from all movies. I mean, that's why it's going to have to be memeable. Like Oppenheimer and like Barbenheimer was a meme. It was a fucking meme. And Minecraft is a meme, and that's good. You're gonna get that once every couple of years. But the fact that like, oh, this movie might sell out. I might not be able to get a ticket. Like those are fucking gone. Like those days are long gone. Even like with Minecraft, you can get a ticket easy to that movie anywhere at any time. And there used to be times where like a while ago where you couldn't like you go to the theater, it's sold out. You're shit out of luck.
I'll be real on Saturday for Minecraft. For me in my area, which is all anecdotal, all of the showings for Minecraft, the only things you could get were the front row.
Wow.
On Saturday, on that Saturday, only thing you get was front row or the handicap seats, and I snagged some handicap seats. So luckily, no one else.
When I went, I told you when I went that opening day, my theater was fucking packed, like packed, and I'm in a sleepy suburban neighborhood, and it's rarely packed. Unless it's some crazy family, like Lilo and Stitch will sell out. In
my local place, they had like 20 showings in one day, and all of them were full, except for like 2 seats we snagged in the back corner.
But still, outside of rare circumstances, you're gonna make it to a movie. You're not gonna feel like you're not gonna, it's not the shared experience that used to be, and that's where theaters. That's where the ship has sailed. And yeah, they're going to have to start allowing in chickens and people smoking weed and fucking throwing popcorn at this point. They're going to have to do everything. I mean, I ain't going to go.
Start supplying chicken.
What a horrible experience if you went to that film and you have all these spastics just throwing popcorn and going nuts.
It's like watching a movie in Brazil, right, Dan Bask? Chickens running around.
Gosh.
Where's my fucking song, dude?
Because that is the problem with allowing that. These people are only there to watch Minecraft and to do that. So you will scare off all the normal people that would actually go to the cinema and want everyone to shut up. They'll stop going because they just have their experience ruined. And then you have to keep making these meme movies for people that just make horrible environments wherever they go.
And actually, it can hurt theaters too.
There's nothing else to go to scare people away from, at least right now.
It won't scare people away at large, but I will say it will hurt some of those individual theaters, because I remember working AMC down in New Orleans, and there was always that whenever there's a PG-13 horror film or anything like that, and the teens would be out, we actually had to shut down theaters. So like we had to stop the movie, turn the overhead lights on.
That's been reported.
Odin, I'll clap back on that a little. At being one of those teenagers who went to schlocky horror movies and fucked up movie theaters, but we did it all the time. All the fucking time. Theaters are so much cleaner than they used to be. You guys have no fucking idea. Like you walk on the floor and just like your fucking shoes would stay on the floor. Yeah, like they're great now. But
the issue is that the refunds and the passes and stuff like that, it can cost the individual theaters. I don't think it's happening at such a scale that's
great.
Hurt. Yeah.
I think it's great that they're Rocky horroring this fucking movie. I think it's fucking awesome. I will never watch this movie again. It's fucking terrible. But you know, if you're I like Melissa when she walked out, she's all, if I took some gummies, I might have enjoyed that. And I'm like, you might have. You might have.
Cinemas are making that one of their options for watching movies. Like movies are so bad, you have to be on drugs to watch them.
Yeah,
it was the CinemaCon message.
There was a proposal by, was it the Paramount person? I don't know who it was, about like looking into everything they can do. If people want to fucking vape in theaters, if people want to smoke weed or do gummies in theaters, can we look at potentially like exploring those options? Because there's nothing to make people want to come to the fucking theater right now.
Yeah, they need something. And like, if you're going to serve booze, I mean, gummies are fine.
Yeah.
It was also things like texting. So it was like they're trying to recreate the Netflix environment in the cinema, where maybe you can bring your own laundry and start ironing while it's on the side.
If I can multitask in a theater, hell yeah. If I could like do a little laundry or something, that'd be great.
I text during movies all the fucking time. Now, I have my brightness turned all the way down because I'm not a fucking psychopath, but I also give no shits about fucking Nicole Kidman at the beginning telling me to turn my phone off. Fuck you. Like, I got important shit to do. I have things to look at. There's no way that I'm not going to be on my phone for 2.5 fucking hours.
As long as you're not being a nuisance, who fucking cares?
Yeah, if you're not bugging anybody, or for example, you got kids. You're
from the UK. You got, if somebody fucking sneezes too loud, you're going to escort them out of the theater. With people raping
you're talking.
every single one of your young women and run around with my fucking machetes. But if someone sneezes in a theater,
I know, right?
Their goddamn cell phone.
No. If somebody sneezes in a theater, they'll make a Netflix special about how it's toxic masculinity or some shit like that.
There was a whole article. I think was it Lady Gaga? Someone retweeted it, and it was like, you have to allow clapping in a theater, and I'm like, no, kicking him out is based. But like, kick everybody out that makes noise in the theater. I want a loudness decibel meter on every chair, where you just get Alice in Borderland when you go over a certain bar.
Let's drop an anvil.
Drop it out. Hey, this is America, where you can see a guy screwing a dead body on a train. Oh, that's New York. So
yeah. That's under the train.
Gosh,
it's the train's fault.
All you fucking losers that are like, I don't want you in my theater, Riot, because the brightness is turned literally down to the fucking bottom, to the point where you can't even fucking see if I'm on my phone and I can barely see it and I have it out. Literally, go fuck yourselves. Like, come the fuck
unless you're like looking
they
into your lab.
They would see it.
I'm sure with my fucking privacy screen that I have on, you can't even see what's on full.
There's a lot of defensive energy here.
Pussy ass bitches.
Go know someone once told Ryan to turn it off.
You stupid motherfuckers! If I ever see you at a theater, my God.
I think this is a good point in the show that FNT Employee of the Month, based on his customer service, is Ryan Kittle, ladies and gentlemen.
Ryan, you should work at a movie theater.
I've legit been making thumbnails for videos like that. I'm like the previews are going. I'm making a thumbnail in there for the fucking movie I'm about to watch.
It's dedication. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, don't go to a movie with Ryan, but don't go to a movie with me either because I talk through that shit. No. I'm a talker. So
honestly, you're not that bad.
I ask a lot of obvious questions like a black person.
What just happened?
No. One of my
like my wife and I are black women when we get into a fucking theater together. Okay, straight up.
Oh, don't go in
Chrissy,
there.
Chrissy, no, don't do that. No, Chrissy, you're just a woman. You're a basic woman going like something like really obvious will happen on the screen. It's like, is he dead? I don't know. Did the severed head give it away, Chrissy?
That's spraying out of his neck.
One of my favorite lines from any Seinfeld episode is the one where they're trying to get together to go to the fucking movie and everything's going wrong and blah, blah, blah. And like eventually everyone cancels and Jerry's like, what am I supposed to make sarcastic remarks to myself? Or make sarcastic remarks to strangers in the theater?
Yeah.
You got to talk a little bit.
God damn, I love that show. I got it on 4K. I got the whole thing on 4K. It's beautiful. Okay, so Daredevil. Woo! All right, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I gave it a chance. I was open to where it was going. I like seeing Charlie Cox back and Vincent D'Onofrio, and this show completely fucking sucks. It's a total fucking waste of time, especially after that 8th episode. Unfucking believably stupid.
Charlie Cox is very cute, and I found myself caring very much about him for that reason.
Did you hate his girlfriend?
She was a little cunty, yeah. She didn't.
Yeah. Like they ramped it up to 11 in this, where it's like I killed him and don't take a turn with me, and holy, it's like, well, good job making us hate her.
Well, they spent an entire season setting up a villain who they just dispatch. And basically, yes, she saves herself. She does. She kills Muse, who's a fucking incel, nothing like he is in the comic books at all. And then you're left with that. I'm like, who's the bad guy now? Is it the fucking stupid cops? Like nobody's gonna take them seriously. Are you fucking kidding me? The task force.
What, Daredevil and Punisher are gonna take him out in the next episode.
Oh, that'll take fucking 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But going back to her, right? She was about to be killed by Muse, right? She knew the situation she was in. Daredevil comes in, stops Muse. Daredevil saved her, right?
Yes, he did.
And she has no gratitude or awareness at all. He tries to tell her, Daredevil said, "No, I saved myself." Like, what did you just? Were you unconscious?
He slowed him down at the very least.
I actually think it's worse than that because he says, well, surely there's a difference, right? One was trying to kill you, one was trying to save you. It's like, no, both of them were there for themselves. Like, no, he's only in that room to save your life because you're his girlfriend. And even if you didn't know that, you still know he's there to save your life.
2 little boys.
Yeah,
she kept on saying boys.
Boys in masks.
Yeah, like it's all this fucking psychobabble, basically, talking about how
you don't date a therapist.
Them acting out, and we've had some of this before here and there throughout the Daredevil series in general, of talking about, are you really out here because you think it's best for, saving the city, or is it because you want to be here, because you want to be committing violent acts? Because we've heard these things before, but this is all from this a literal fucking psychologist, right? Point of view of, hey, they're just acting out. They're doing what they want to do. So regardless if they think their intentions were good or whatever, it all stems from this root of fucking trauma, and they're acting out and making people worse for it. And the way it comes off is just so dismissive of Daredevil and ultimately of Matt, which she doesn't know it's being dismissive of Matt. But at some point in this fucking series, I just wish Matt would grow some goddamn balls.
Yeah.
I think it fucks up on both of them. She should know better. This place has a history, and Matt Murdock is the most famous vigilante defending lawyer who knows them inside out. She knows fuck all compared to him. But she's never asked him for insight. She doesn't care. And then the fact that, like, she's not smart enough to put together, it's like, why do you think they wear masks? Like, in Muse's case, you can guess whatever you want, psychopathy or whatever. But, Daredevil, it's, like, pretty obvious if the bad guys know who his loved ones are. It's like, how have you not entertained this, you dumb bitch? And it's so annoying listening to, like, all these impassioned speeches waiting for Matt to be like, all right, like, you've gone too far or you don't understand all this. But he's just like,
No, when he has his crisis of conscience to Kirsten McDuffie and he invokes fiddle faddle fucking dude again, and he's just like, it just doesn't seem worth it. For one, this is the penultimate episode. That's the kind of thing that should probably happen right after the death of Foggy. Would you say, if it's going to happen at all? I hated it, but like, you're having it now. in the middle of the 8th fucking episode. He's having this crisis of conscience. What are you fucking kidding me?
Well, this episode felt like it's the second episode with
it totally did
15 minutes of review of the last 7.
Like you guys,
that's what it
previously on, where it basically just replays all of the first episode.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Like, wait a minute,
because we haven't addressed any of it, and obviously part of this is due to them completely, tearing down and shooting a couple new episodes and trying to make something of what was originally there. Okay, we know why, but it still is not acceptable to put this out this way.
So if you remember way back when the discussion was whether or not this was going to be a slow burn as a result of this like mangled Frankenstein season, I would never have described it as a slow burn. It's literally just like it's utter shite for like 6 episodes. And then there's this like compensation in episode 1 and 7 and 8, I guess, or 8 and 9, sorry, which is unacceptable. It makes the season ridiculous nonsense. It's hard to watch. Like, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand the logic, to be honest with you. Like, oh yeah, we'll hire better showrunners. We'll let you fix it, but you got to keep 6.
Yeah,
of
that
them?
makes no sense. That's inexcusable.
That's
and
crippling.
Then you don't even edit in like I mentioned this before the show started, but Bullseye's back, everybody. And that was the bad guy they needed. Well, they should have been sprinkling in Bullseye fucking killing people in prison, at least a couple of minute scenes throughout the season. Instead, they make him a fucking pussy snitch who's afraid to go in general population. Bullseye would kill everybody and run the prison within an hour.
Hey, how can you play him as the complete psychos, completely unhinged, smiling and laughing as he kills everybody, and then he's like, "Oh, geez, I don't want to be with the people in Gen Pop
population." He's not a fucking pedo. He's Bullseye.
He's surrounded by people, and then he's fine. And he's like, "Well, how did he get out of that?"
What?
Yeah, they never pay that off. They just,
that didn't make any sense. Why would they be pissed off him to begin with? Like you mentioned, he's not a pedophile.
Well, they called him agent somebody.
Yeah, so he may have put some of them away. He's killed criminals. Blah blah blah.
Well, he was an agent before, but yes. So like he was basically a cop before, and that would make him a target. But he's Bullseye. Who gives a shit? He would be
like most famous bad guy now.
He like the best scene, we mentioned this earlier, would have been putting him in general population and having him kill 20 guys in unique ways, in unique Bullseye ways, and then have him sitting on a fucking throne in the yard, like basically running the place. Bodies. Yeah, that would have been great. But so he's like, I need to talk to Matt. Me. It's like, fuck off. I fucking hate it.
That's the thing. This isn't them keeping 6 episodes of worse stuff. Their 7, 8 so far have been just as bad as the previous ones. Like it hasn't improved.
Yeah,
these ones.
It hasn't improved. No, it's gotten worse. It has actually gotten worse.
All the constant henpecking that was just therapy scenes before is now just at the characters themselves. And when you went about the where he's going through all the stuff, well, this guy didn't go to prison. You're like, oh, so you want him to go to prison more? And then this guy got killed. It's like, yeah, so those cops should have probably gone to prison for what they were doing before. So the system doesn't work. And this guy went to prison for stealing fiddle faddle. So now you've contradicted yourself. And all of this leads to being, well, we need the law so that they punish what they can, and I will catch what they can't. I will get the dregs that fall through the system. And instead, he never comes to any realization. He's just always, I don't know whether I should be mean or not. And at some point, you have to come down to, it doesn't matter whether you enjoy the violence, as long as you're doing something good with it. Your motives are irrelevant because you're still doing good at the end of it. And he just can't get down to some kind of conclusion.
There's a whole series of writing fuck-ups as well, right? So Matt goes to see Bullseye just to entertain whatever the fuck he wants to talk about. Bullseye basically lets him know there's something you don't know about who wanted Foggy dead. It's like, oh, shit. And then, it's like, what more information is there? And what are you going to do about Bullseye, who's essentially asking for your help, in other words? I think that's a really interesting setup. And then you just have Matt get mad and hit his head into a death.
Yeah.
And I found that so out of character.
That was to break his tooth.
Yeah.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
I was like, why the fuck would Matt do that? He's just lost all the leverage he had to find out what happened to Foggy, which is like the most important thing. And now he's like giving up the whole conversation. And I was watching it with Fringy, and he was like, yeah, it's going to loosen a tooth and then you'll escape with it. And I was like,
yeah, the guy thanked him.
Yeah, he said thank you, counselor, when he left.
Why? You can have Bullseye do it himself. Wouldn't that be the more interesting escape? He fucking rams his head into a wall.
100%.
And you think, oh, this guy's nuts. But he gets a tooth and then uses it to kill the god.
In a very clunky way, they're setting up like bringing Foggy back. So
I know.
Yeah, I know it's really fucking obvious, but yeah. But you're right. It's like that was dumb. That was really dumb.
It's
And
so
MauLer,
dumb
you mentioned
that-
it before, the spit power of the tooth to just
I
blow
did-
someone's face off.
I'm fine with the
That's
action.
how
I'm
Ryan
fine with
always looks, by the way.
They were very
Not
clear.
happy watching
His
Daredevil.
powers were his hands, Bullseye. Like they've been very, very clear. Not he could spit at remarkable speeds to poke teeth through people's heads like a bullet. I can't believe that's a sentence I just said.
Like,
Whatever.
I was expecting he was gonna like spit it into the guy's mouth and get him to choke or something like that, but then it's like
What?
bang in the eye. I was like, what?
Shut. His hands were free. Spit it into your hand and throw it.
Yeah.
Like he didn't kill the guy with that. Just for the record, he
Wounded
like
him, yeah.
he
Blood
his eye did
splattered out of his
eyeball
fucking head.
spurted. His eyeball like spurted, but he was just like, "Ah, god damn it, my eye!" Like fucking didn't matter like for a while until Bullseye fucking killed
Why
everybody
were
else.
his hands
Right?
free? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
He's fucking Bullseye.
This is not related, but my favorite superpower that Daredevil has is that he can tell when his girlfriend is not fine, even when she says, "I'm fine." Oh, you're not listening to me. It's like,
Well, you know what?
He's like, no, you're definitely miserable.
Chrissy, newsflash. We can all fucking tell.
You know what, Gary? On that
Daredevil can
fucking note,
smell
that
when
is-
you're on your period. He doesn't
that
have
is
to know
another
you're
fuck
period.
when Bullseye implies that there's more to what's happened to Foggy, Matt says, "I can't trust you." And it's like, you're a fucking lie detector. You don't need to trust him.
I know.
Yeah, it's not like that's been like a huge part of fucking the first three
He
seasons.
doesn't even
of
know.
Daredevil.
Bullseye doesn't even know, so he can't even trick him with it.
No. So they're setting up the final episode where Karen Page and Punisher come back in the last 5 minutes of the next episode to mop
The literal
everything up and say,
consolation prize.
"Hey guys, next season it'll really be great. Look at the leaked photos that we totally accidentally leaked, and it'll make sense." And they're setting
next
up the
episode,
Defenders.
Karen Page
again?
and Frank Castle will
Yes.
look at the screen and ask, "Is anyone still there?"
I don't know if it's said outright, but what happens is I was told at the end Daredevil loses basically.
We just
And
got shot, so
yeah, and he realizes he needs help, and it's going to set up the Defenders. Now, what form are they going to take? Is it going to be the Netflix Defenders? Is it going to be Moon Knight? And some I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Well, the Iron Fist actor
Oh.
recently has said, "I would gladly come back if they asked me." So maybe that was a
They
hint.
haven't.
Would he work out and learn martial arts in the meantime?
I mean, we know Jessica Jones is coming back for sure, but who else? It's like,
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, because Iron Fist sucks.
Oh,
Like,
it did.
show
Terrible.
was-
Fucking
It was
utterly
very bad.
terrible.
I think he knows that because his interview was essentially "Give me another chance."
It was- I
was a
didn't hate
bad-
Iron Fist as much as a lot of other people did. I certainly didn't love it or anything.
I
but,
hated season 2.
I think he was
season
a
2
bad
was
pick.
awful. Season 2 was trash.
Yeah, it
I
was
fucking
trash.
hated it.
But I mean, so was Jessica Jones season 2. So,
So
yeah,
was
no,
Jessica Jones, and so was Luke Cage season 2, and so was
Mhm.
Punisher season 2.
yeah.
Yeah, like there's a good reason a lot of those shows or all of them got canceled because they sucked.
Yeah, Jessica Jones went downhill because he didn't have Tennant in it anymore. He was the best thing about the first season.
Oh.
Well, that's pretty much the only story she really had in the books until they put her in
Oh,
Jessica
makes
Jones: The New Avengers. Like
Mhm.
it's called Alias, and it was supposed to be Jessica Drew the Spider Woman, and they couldn't do that, so they changed it to Jessica Jones, and it's good. It's really good. They made the Purple Man like a proper evil villain, like really good. Shouldn't have killed him.
that first meeting in the comic book, it gets dark real quickly. It's just
Oh,
like-
dude. Yeah,
They
the
also-
show goes light.
Yeah,
The show goes really light.
like,
The
in the
comic is
comic books,
much more hardcore.
She's in her outfit. She goes to confront him, and the first thing he does is tell her to strip. And it's like,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
can't-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a brutal comic.
What would you do with that power, Shad?
not tell someone to strip.
Make everybody a Mormon.
That'd help a lot of people.
But it wouldn't be.
Would that
real,
break the rules
Shad.
of Mormon, though?
That's the
That's it.
problem. Yeah, I couldn't
Reinforce
use
faith.
it because
Yeah.
one of the most sacrosanct tenets in our faith is maintaining the free will of the individual.
Okay. Very fair enough.
I would
Boring.
convince the top 20 countries in the world's leaders to say something that would crash the entire financial industry.
Afterbirth.
So I
I
can
can
make
have
$100 million on Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
in my crypto wallet.
I just
And I
like
would
that.
make one strip, yeah.
Giving that power to Shad, he'd be like, "I've got the most powerful ability in the world, and I can't use it." because I can't take over anyone's free will.
That sounds like something they can make 100-volume anime about. Or manga. Sorry. Manga.
Some of the titles in anime are just wild. I've been watching, what is it? I will solo any boss to knock off on time. No, I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to knock off on time. That's the title of an anime.
People have been running into issues.
Surprise me at all.
People have been running into issues because the titles are too long to save.
Shad would be Restraint Man.
Restraint Man. People want titles off.
I mean, it's probably something lost in the translation, I'm guessing. Probably sounds really good in Japanese or whatever.
Maybe. I don't think so at this point.
Just like Sato or something. It's like, well.
They want you to understand the full concept of the show, the title.
The title is
maybe
straight
Gary,
to the
they
point.
just push it as far as they can to see if we keep buying it as Westerners.
They're like, listen to this title. They'll fucking eat anything up.
They just put the script, the entire script as the title.
Well, the thing is, though, earning 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement, that's the title, is actually a fun show and charming. I enjoyed that one. So you got me with it.
What do we want to do next? Doctor Who or Direwolves?
Direwolves. Direwolves, I think, would probably be more interesting.
They aren't even direwolves. It's fake bullshit.
No, okay.
Air quote.
I don't know, Gary. Both subjects they're extinct, so you really choose each one.
Yeah, but the direwolves are still extinct. That's the story of the direwolves.
Yeah, isn't the takeaway is Doctor Who?
So it makes sense.
They just had it off DNA.
Did you watch the Joe Rogan interview? Because they talk about that. So they talk about the past of what a direwolf was DNA wise, and it's a mix of other things. So it's 99.6 or 7, pretty much that close regular to a direwolf, which is it's basically a big gray wolf, but they're going to be bigger and they're going to be able to still learn about the species. So I highly recommend. They're a hybrid, right? But that's what a lot of mutation is. Mm-hmm. So the guy was like, he was playing semantics a little bit, parsing words, but he's also saying, well, things evolve, so they weren't what they were before. But what we're trying to do is get something fucking close to direwolves, and then they're probably going to bring a mammoth back. Like a mammoth is really close to an Indian elephant. They go into the whole thing about that, but they're going to be able to use this.
Why? Because it stinks.
Maybe.
When we get dinosaurs, just get to it already.
No. Well, I mean, like a mammoth coming back would actually be good. That would actually be good for the earth, and there's a lot of people all for it. Yeah, bringing back a short-faced bear or fucking, I don't know, an apex predator like a direwolf, probably not the best idea in the world.
Why and he's like, yeah, mammoth walking down the street. Why do I give a shit?
Mammoths are cool. You wouldn't have a mammoth walking down your fucking street. I think it's fucking cool. I think we should bring those
coming to life. A proper woolly mammoth. Could you like harvest the fur for material like wool?
Yeah, they made a woolly fucking mouse. Wool. Did you see the woolly mouse that they made?
Sheep. No. So got a million fucking sheep hanging around, like fucking we're in Minecraft or something. We don't need a goddamn mammoth.
Could have to do with these. Stick them on an island and make sure they're all male or something. Well, female.
Mm-hmm. One will
life
turn.
Finds a way.
I am clearly talking to the wrong people about this.
I'm impressed that
nearly everything on Earth shares like 97, 98, 99% of its DNA anyway. So going, this is really close. Yeah, everything is. We're not
everything
that
is
different.
We're not that different, and I think it's really interesting that they're doing it. It's like they're playing God. It's like, they're actually going to use it to bring back species who are on the brink of extinction, which is great. That's what the whole technology is for. Mm-hmm. I think the funniest bit is we got a fucking direwolf before we got Wins a Winner. That's the only part.
That is the best outcome of it. 100%. I like this is how I personally feel about it. All these fucking species that went extinct, they had their fucking chance and they lost. It fucked. Right. Okay. I don't think we need to be bending over trying to bring these losers back. Okay.
Yeah.
I just think you haven't brought back direwolves. You've just mutated a wolf. It's like, I don't really want to be breeding mutant wolves or mutant anything.
Yeah,
that's cool. We can get their wool.
Darwinism
in it that sucked the blood out of a dire wolf fucking 20,000 years ago, and then you made that. I'd be like, that's fucking cool. But
well, they're getting close. They're getting really fucking close to being able to do that.
I want to see them start.
I want to see them start cross, genetic splicing animals. I want to see a
combination. Of course you would.
Like let's combine a cow and a emu. Like, imagine combining a cow and a chicken. That you would make one of the most
Man, bear,
magical
pig.
animals in the world.
Chicow.
It's that South Park episode where it's like,
kill me.
Eggs, milk,
that's what you'd be making.
and beef chicken. Like that would taste incredible.
Yeah, but what if this is your idea,
chimera.
Shad, your idea is if you make something that remains the size of a cow, but also has the ability to lay eggs that we can then fucking use to do things and still milk. But it's going to turn out to just be a tiny ass chicken, and it's going to have tiny little fucking teeth.
Little
And you're
udders?
not gonna milk
Yeah,
out of it.
what's next?
You're
You're
gonna
gonna
milk it like this.
What's next? You're gonna make one animal that produces bacon, ham, and pork.
Let's do it. That would be
A turducken. It's called a turducken. Just make a live one.
It's called a pig.
This is just Crad watching anime, and he's just ended up at the argument for cat girls. That's all he's done. He's like, no, we'll pitch the eggs first. We'll make the chickens.
Then we'll make cat girls.
Then we'll move on to the cat girl.
I feel like we're so far beyond any kind of restriction. I just want my dinosaurs. Fuck it. Put them in the little park, and then we'll have the
Magical
disaster
animal.
one day, and we'll all make the joke, but it won't matter because I'll see my dinosaurs.
Yeah. And when we see them in real life, they won't look anything like we thought.
Yeah,
they
like
did.
we
They
just
look like
no,
big
it's
fucking
terrible.
birds.
With the power of CRISPR, they will genetically engineer a Jurassic Park section to make them look exactly like.
Yeah, they would.
Yes.
They can.
Yeah, they would
manipulate.
put the wrong genes in to mimic what they think
deliberately.
dinosaurs look like.
Dude, yeah, we're
It
not
would be
far
woke dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's true. And then they'll actually have people being like, "That's not what dinosaurs look like." They're like, "Bitch, that is a literal like it's right there." Now it does look like that.
Because aren't velociraptors like the size of chickens, basically? And they got fucking
Well, not the
feathers and
size,
feathers.
but yeah, they are feathered.
The scariest form of that like species aren't Velociraptor, but that's the name that's like kicked off hardcore
because
popularity
of
of the
Jurassic
movies.
Park.
Yeah.
But there's a version of it that is actually closer to the one.
Pretty
in the film.
terrifying little guys, but bring them all on, all the dinosaurs. Let's go.
Let's
But
do
you
it.
can't get- I would only be on board if you can eat them and they taste good. Otherwise, stuff it. Like,
They taste bad.
Yeah, I mean, lizards
Yeah,
basically
like-
taste like
What do you want
chicken
to eat
anyway.
mutant animals? You have no idea the effects. that
If
could
it
have.
tastes good, I'm 100% there.
How
What
about
if you mutate, Shad?
we
What happens
merge
to
a
dog?
dog with another kind of dog?
They do that already.
We got those are called
They-
fucking
They
mutts.
do that.
Those are called dogs. That's pretty much every dog in existence right now.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say. The most scary implication of this is what's gonna happen with humans. Like they can edit way more of our genes to the point of
They
making
already
perfect.
do.
They already
That's what,
do.
that's what
They got in
I was
trouble
referencing
for doing it
CRISPR.
in China.
I don't know if you've seen videos breaking it down, but there will be an inevitable future where it will be harder and harder not to edit the genes of your given kids with the best everything, right? Like what parent wouldn't want to do that? And then you'll have a race
We
of
already do that
Make
with
them extra
if you have
retarded.
tests. If you have tests for Downs and stuff, and then you abort the child, you're essentially just editing.
Oh yeah,
the
no,
DNA
yeah,
that way.
we're technically doing it already. I just mean like like the engineers in fucking Prometheus, like Adonis type creatures. It's just like there'll
So
be a whole
purposefully
generation
doing
of
it?
them, and eventually we're going to be the old generation. We're like the Neanderthals. We're going to be like, hey guys, don't kill us.
Basically,
Yeah,
the plot
the
of
chat-
Gattaca.
Definitely.
The chat's shouting out Gattaca, which is a phenomenal
Oh,
film.
Yes,
and
I
definitely
love
the
that
direction
movie.
that we're
Well, Gattaca, Logan's Run. There's a lot of movies like
yeah.
that.
The best we can hope for is they keep us as
before I have
pets.
to worry about any of this shit.
I think, I mean, there's a more optimistic view of it, which is that as our old generation dies out, we're considered like a marvel, and that we're treated with respect. That would be nice.
Like
that's not going to happen.
Not even
That's
close.
not going to happen.
Absolutely dreaming.
It's actually kind of crazy where the human race is accelerating so fast in certain technological things, but very slow in other things. Like in the 60s, they thought we would be on the moon by the 2000s, right? And they thought space travel would go really fast, and it would take ages to develop. But in other ways, like AI is developing so crazy fast, and then you have this now gene stuff that's going crazy. It's like, holy crap!
We still haven't been on the moon.
There's multiple reasons for that. One of the reasons in a new industry, the start is the fastest because you're learning all of these new
The
techniques.
singularity.
But you also hit a point where once something becomes standardized, you get all the random DEI. You advance past essentially the geniuses, and now you have to start employing
You
normal
reach
people.
maturity.
And they don't like risk. All they do is take what's already there and iterate slightly. And they don't want to be
Absolutely.
offensive. They don't want to take radical risks. They don't want to lose hundreds of millions of dollars on something. And so you slow down because everyone's
Still,
basically doing what the last guy did, but a bit better.
as a reference to a singularity over there, the second we can make AI that can make AI that can make AI that can, it's over.
Yeah. Singularity, but yeah.
We are getting technology that I thought I would never see in my lifetime. Like some of this technology is equivalent or even better than some of this we see in Star Trek. And it's like, holy crap, we can move really fast in some areas, surprisingly so.
Yeah, Shad, you got a long life ahead of you, though. I mean, you're only 39 years old. How do you
know.
You never see some of this stuff in your lifetime.
Because I thought it would just take longer. Like I thought it was cool when we had automatic doors. It's like, hey, Star Trek has that. Look, we got it too.
You walked up to them pretending you opened them with the force.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen some countries where they've never seen escalators and there's just a crowd that come around to ride it? And they're like, this is like a park ride for them. They're standing there amazed that the force moving. Yeah. I do like that the rules for safe AI were something like don't let it code itself, don't give it access to the internet, don't let it out of a box. Yeah. First thing we did, break all of them.
Don't feed it after midnight.
One of them
honestly, if you wanted humanity to pay attention to those rules, you'd be better off writing them in reverse. Like, make it self-aware, everyone. They'd be like, I'm not going to do that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what to do.
Reverse psychology.
Can you,
it is funny.
Just back to the dire wolf thing, which is really, this was the big announcement that George R.R. Martin teased on his blog.
Yes,
right?
yes,
like,
yes.
He's like, I've got a big announcement coming up tomorrow or the next day. And before you ask, it's not Winds of Winter, so stop asking. And it's like, you stupid, dumb bitch. You will open up a coffee shop, a bar, a stupid-ass art museum. You'll make another fucking movie. You've got a play going on, which, to be honest, I am excited to see that play whenever it happens. Because that play is actually going to reveal a bunch of shit about the actual plot line of A Song of Ice and Fire. But
What play? You
don't know about this?
No. So I'm asking.
They're doing they've been working on this play about the tourney at Harrenhal, like with Rhaegar and Robert and Lyanna and like everybody there. They've been working on that play for a while now. And it's supposed to come out next year.
Where's it going to be? Like the West End and Broadway, or
West End and Broadway? I think. Yeah, I'm 100%
West End. I won't
come out. But
I'd rather go to the
Rachel
fucking.
Segler's going to be in it.
I'd rather go to UK than fucking New York. Yeah. So where's his? I'm looking for his older posts.
He's such a fat piece of shit.
I can't. My internet is so fucking nerfed right now. Go to George R. Martin's Not a Blog, X-Ray Girl. Because he put the post up, but yeah, he gets really salty, fucking asshole. I was patient with this. If you guys don't know, been a fan for a long time, and for the longest time, I was like, let the dude write, man, let him cook. It's all good. We can wait. And then I just hit a point where, like, after COVID, and he's like, I'm gonna lock myself in a shack for a year and finish the book, and he didn't finish the book. He actually removed pages and rewrote them. I was fucking done. And the way I see it is, when you make a fantasy series and you go, it will be 7 parts, that is a promise to your fans that your fans buy into, that financially support you. And then you reprint the fuck out of those books with illustrated editions. And I'm a motherfucker who bought them all because, hey, if it helps get George going, and all he's just doing it to pay off all the shit he's doing now. He has no intention of finishing the series. I repeat, he has no intention of finishing the series. He's lying to all his fans. He's been lying to himself. I don't give a fuck what he says. He's a star fucker. He likes to hang out with celebs. He likes the TV show thing. He likes the Hollywood life because that's where he started. And he can't fucking finish this thing. And all I've said is, if you can't finish it, just fucking tell people you can't fucking finish it, or get a ghostwriter, swallow some fucking pride. Instead, he's going to lie to everybody until he fucking dies. That's what he's going to do. Piece of shit. That's a piece of shit move. You know, and like, if I was his publishers, I'd be suing the fuck out of him right now, but they're too afraid of him. And
they're probably still making money on every single art book and everything they put out. So
as long as they're making money, they're probably fine.
Yeah,
they're just going to, and this repeated pattern of getting, Dan and Dave were fucking morons, but he fell out with them, and now he's fell out with Ryan Condell.
I'm starting to blame him more than anybody else, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, you have to at this point. I agree. Like, it really feels like it was his fault. It does. So you're falling out with Ryan Condell has done nothing, and like, I think some of Ryan Condell's decisions are fucking retarded in House of the Dragon, but I think that first season was a banger, and it sounds like he really tried to work with him. And George just wouldn't work with him at all, and moved on to the next series.
It's crazy because I remember 2 years ago when George R.R. Martin was praising some of the changes that Ryan Condell made.
Yep.
To House of the Dragon season 1. And I certainly think that season 2 is a drop off from season 1. And I don't like the way they did this, maybe left this out, things like that.
Scroll down. That's where I go.
At this point in time, when this motherfucker is doing all of these things and has creative fallouts with every single fucking person, I'm starting to blame your fat fucking ass, George. You should have sat in your fucking room to not get COVID because you're fucking obese and you're one of the couple percent of people that actually should have been afraid during fucking COVID, and you didn't write your goddamn book. And it's just so irritating, man. He's scared to do it. This is it. Scroll
That's
up
it.
a little bit right here.
Yeah.
Something else is going to be happening on April 8th as well, or maybe April 9th. No, I'm not announcing the completion of Winds of Winter, a 6th volume of A Song of Ice and Fire. Please don't start any rumors to that effect. I am so tired of having to issue denials every time some offhand comment of mine, both having nothing to do with Winds, somehow convinces half the internet the book is imminent. It's not. No. Maybe I need to stop making offhand comments.
I hate the fact that I have to
stop doing everything else. Go ahead, MauLer. Sorry.
I love that sentiment. It's like, I'm so fucking tired of having to deal with the things that happen as a result of me speaking. It's like,
this is a fucking ungrateful fuck. There are writers who would give limbs to have people asking them for their next book all the fucking time. And he's got the talent to do it, and it's just fucking wasted. And no, he can't finish the book because he doesn't have an ending. And this is what happens when you try to take the tropes of Tolkien and subvert them and make them nihilistic with Chance and Andor. That fucking epic rap battle is fucking great. They need to do an update, but Tolkien won that one at the end. Because it's like, chance and anarchy. Yes, of course that could happen in real life, but that's why it's called fantasy. You fucking myopic manatee. That's what he called him. And he's right, because ultimately what George has to realize, and he's never been, if you've read any of his other stuff, he's a Twilight Zone writer. He likes write a moral twist, and it's not a happy ending. And he doesn't really know how to land as far as with this series. He's still going to have to come around to a hero's journey, to a traditional story to make it satisfying. And he can't do it. He doesn't even fucking know how. He's invited all the dire wolves in the door of publishing with the Sad Puppy stuff. Shad, you know about the Sad Puppies was basically Gamergate for sci-fi and fantasy novels. It got infiltrated by a bunch of woke fucking idiots. They started fucking with the awards and like the whole term Sad Puppy is if you wrote something about sad puppies, you win an award, and it got rid of all the white straight male writers who are just gone from fucking fantasy books, right?
Gutted in the mainstream.
Yeah.
Completely gutted.
And then they're going, why don't men read? Well, because nobody's fucking writing anything they want to fucking read. We don't want to, you know what? Here, I can't wait for the next book about a gay fucking vampire. Jesus Christ.
You can pick any of that sort of femme fantasy stuff. It will be about something abusive and horrific. It'll be like, I can't believe you can even write this book. They're all horrific stories.
That's a female fetish. That true crime stuff, that's a fetish, man.
Oh no,
that is like, I want to see women get horribly fucking murdered by their husbands. It's fascinating.
Well, it's also like there was a fairy book that was just the entire book was about just being abused.
Yeah, I kind of like some of the true crime stories.
I was gonna say, yep.
Jeffrey Dahmer just fucking killing a bunch of black gays in Milwaukee. Like, I think there's something compelling about these stories. But George R.R. Martin, he hasn't even actually wrote a complete book in 25 years.
In 25 years.
Because the last two he released was supposed to be one that got too big that he had to cut into two, which is only why you have half viewpoints or half the viewpoint characters in one, half the viewpoint in the other. That's really just one big book that got too fucking big.
What would you guys want in terms of if the truth is he's not planning to release it ever until he's dead? Would you prefer he announce that and then pass it to somebody?
The same thing Wheel of Time
tell
happened.
The truth.
He had a degenerative disorder, and so he wrote the final chapter. He outlined what he could for the rest of it, and basically worked till his dying day to do as much as possible. And then his wife, who'd already edited the previous books, chose the author she thought was best. And he didn't try and imitate Jordan's writing. He just wrote his own style, but tried to keep the lore as much
the
as
vision.
Yeah.
You already have a lot of people that help out George with a lot of like the lore books and stuff. Like he already has people that do these things for him. And I think that would be, obviously they should be involved in whatever happens.
James S.A. Corey, which is actually 2 writers, do The Expanse. They could probably finish it. They could probably be the ones. It won't be as good, but they write. They're his proteges. They write in a very similar style, and they probably could finish it. He doesn't want anybody to finish it though. He's like, I'll take it to my grave. Like it's like, all right, well, I mean, like he's such a dick about everything, and it's not just because he didn't shake my hand. Okay, I'm surprised. I understand why he didn't shake my hand, but
I felt that the truth is, for a long time, he's scared to finish it because we'll put it this way. If he stops right here and he never publishes Wins and he never publishes A Dream of Spring, and all people know is the little bits that we got, little bits of what we know actually will happen from the Game of Thrones TV series, which everybody thinks, oh, what an awful way to finish, blah, blah, blah. George would definitely do it better than that. His legacy, I think in his mind, is safer now if he never writes another thing.
Yeah.
That he comes out with it and people are still disappointed by it.
Yeah.
And so I think he's scared to death of that.
Do you think, is it even possible for him to not disappoint people at this point? Like with whatever he actually puts out? Because he's going to have fucked it, more than likely.
Yeah.
He historically has not had very fulfilling endings to a lot of his stories. Like that's something he's been known for. Great with a lot of setup, but the payoff feels a little bit less than.
I just feel like the theory, right, that it would have helped scramble at the end of the actual TV show, that he probably had plenty of that in his actual book. So he was just like, oh fuck. So he's like going back and forth, and what I'm saying is like whatever it actually ended up being, if he was forced to release it, would probably not be fantastic.
Here's the thing: you can take, with the exception of the Arya Night King thing, because the Night King isn't a character in the fucking books. Yep. So like that's not a real thing. So I don't think you necessarily have to worry about that part of the story. Dany burning King's Landing, I could see that happening in the books, but for completely different reasons. Fagon is not in the show. Fagon is in the books. If Daenerys does all this shit and has done all of these things, and all of a sudden Fagon is, takes King's Landing and is adored by the population, they're worshiping the true Targaryen heir. And after all this stuff that Dany did, I could see her losing her shit in a way. So I think that could be real and could happen. I could see Jon killing her. I could see a lot of things that I think would be acceptable and even rewarding potentially in the books. When you talk about fucking the Prince Who Was Promised stuff, Jon, Dany, I 100% think you could still have a lot of the same beats that people were so disappointed by in the show. But if it was done in the books with the decades worth of setup we've had for some of these things, I think it could definitely
with other characters involved, like Lady Stoneheart, like you said, Fagon. Yeah. Everything is there. Still could be a Night King. One could show up. It could be fucking Jon Snow for all we know. I mean, like
Jon Snow could be the Night's King.
Yes, the Night's King. He's obviously going to come back. My theory is it's Lady Stoneheart brings him back and not Lady Melisandre. But because that would be, because she hated Jon and she ends up like giving her life to save Jon. That'd be good. But we'll never know because they won't finish the fucking book. They won't finish the fucking book. And but with all that context, Bran's going to sit the throne. Like that's going to happen because they've been setting it up.
It actually feels like he would have told them that, and then they will like try to figure out what to say as to why. And the best they could do was Tyrion say the best story shit.
And that does sound like George. It sounds like their imitation of George. The thing is, you can't blame Dan and Dave because they're going, okay, you're going to make Bran king. How many chapters did he get in A Winds of Winter? 3? He got 3 chapters in that whole entire book, which is actually the second half of another book where he has no chapters. And Ryan, to your point, in a Feast for Crows and A Dance of Dragons were one book. And it took him 6 years to edit that second part that he split. It took him 6 years. It was written. So, yeah, it's all these people holding out like, we're going to be patient with George. Bless your heart. You're going to be patient till the end of time.
Yeah.
A Velociraptor will come back before we get Winds of Winter.
Man, that'd be cool.
Oh, well. I'm glad I never read the series because I don't have
somebody
to
will genetically engineer an actual fucking dragon before we get to wins a winner.
Yeah.
Not
Someone said
happening.
Bran sitting on the throne undermines the whole story.
Ooh.
Kind of, but kind of not.
Kind of not.
Kind of, but kind of not, because one of the points of the stories are, look at what people are doing over this power, over their lordship, over this territory. Look what people are doing. And the way that we pass these things down has obviously been so important. Your true-born heir, if they're bastards, like all these things have such crazy ramifications. So the idea of, not the way they did it in the show, but the idea of it becoming Bran, who has no chance of ever having children, like him becoming king, in one sense, I don't know if it necessarily undermines what a lot of these characters may have felt, but in terms of the message that's trying to be portrayed about how bad this fucking is and how awful it is for society in general to have these people constantly fighting these massive battles and the poor people, the small people, always being the ones that suffer. I don't actually know if that undermines that part of the story at all.
No. And we have no idea who the others are. Portrayed really differently in the show. Where they're all just called White Walkers, but the White Walkers are the Walking Dead, and the others are the knights who look like ethereal ice elves in the book. They don't look like corpses. They look like elves. They're kind of beautiful. So they made it really different show. We have no fucking idea what they are. None. There's lots of theories out there, but
we saw a fucking green man in House of the Dragon season 2.
We did. That's well. There's more of them. Well, I mean, because that actually comes into the story. And I was going to ask you, Ryan, what's the end? Okay, House of the Dragon. So the Dance with the Dragons, that's in Fire and Blood. What's the end of that story? What's the definitive end?
To me, I think that the end will effectively be. Are we spoiling it? MauLer will be spoiled if he's
earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Okay.
Earmuffs.
I think the end will be when Corlys does his thing, and that one person gets crowned. I think that's kind of the end of the story.
Okay.
If you pick up what I'm putting down there,
I am picking up what you're putting down, and that's going to be like the most anticlimactic ending of all fucking time.
It will be. I want to see the Hour of the Wolf. I want to see that shit.
That's going to be awesome, dude. That's going to be awesome.
Well, this is what we've said about a couple things. So.
Yeah. Okay. The thought of it would be awesome, but they're probably going to make it fucking God, the White Worm. What's it? Why am I blanking on her name now? Massaria. Yeah, Massaria will probably do something. Oh, and then Nettles. Like Nettles not being in it fucks the entire story, dude. And I think that's what George was genuinely pissed about. Is
it is funny to erase the black character.
You erased the one black character because you made other characters that were white black. So now you can't have the black character.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like you're just talking about House of Dragon season 2. Is it safe?
So Nettles.
You're okay. You're okay.
You're okay because Nettles is not going to be in the story.
Yeah, I know about Nettles,
which completely screws it up. Okay.
Why do they make changes like that? That's baffling to me. If it's that obvious, like
I 100% think she should be in it. I don't know how much it really. How much does it really?
It only matters. It only matters for one thing at the end, which we will not say. But it does really matter because it makes it really fucking sick and twisted. If it's not Nettles, dude.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite threads is that screenshot from House of the Dragon season 1 of Daemon and Rhaenyra when like Daemon's sitting there and he's holding Rhaenyra's hand, and it's like these two are so cute together. And someone was like, "Oh, really? From this picture, it looks like they're related." Like somebody who didn't know the show. and someone's like, boy, I've got news for you. And it's like, what? I thought they looked like brother or sister or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, No, that's her. Or no, it's like, oh, that looked like her uncle. I thought they were brother and sister or something. That someone says, "I've got news for you." They're still fucking.
They're Targaryens, man. They're Targaryens. Oh well. Real quick,
do you think they might do that with Nettles? Because I know,
they could still bring in Nettles. They could. It would.
My thing is, I don't know if it destroys like. Basically, that's just a reason that Damon's not doing shit for a couple months. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't actually think it's all that impactful to everything else.
I disagree, but I can't say why. We'll talk about it when we're at the meetup. But it's still like Sheep Stealer isn't supposed to be in Erie, right? And the whole thing was Nettles like she may or may not be a dragon seed. She's technically called one, but she might not. We don't know if she's got Targaryen blood. She might have a little drop or something like that, but she like she just feeds the dragon over a long period of time and tames it. Like just does it the old fashioned way. Like everybody's like, I got to be a dragon rider. She's like, well, I'll just fucking feed it sheep forever. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, speaking of real quick, Russell T Davies came out and basically again, yes, recently and said, yeah, the show is going to probably take a little break. So he said it was canceled. He said it was not canceled in the way that the original classic run was not canceled. It was put on hiatus, but it was canceled
for 10 years.
It was absolutely canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's making another show, Cutie Gat is now doing Shakespeare. It has to take a break. They're both doing other projects. So even just logistically, it couldn't do anything else.
And not with the BBC, as you said, like Russell's taking another show with another network. Shooty, who was rumored to leave anyway, and and it sounds like he wanted to leave anyway. It doesn't sound like he's had the best time. Oh, you hire this really flamboyant gay guy, and you found out he's a bit of a drama queen. What a fucking surprise!
Yeah,
completely shocking news.
I mean, when it said though that he wants to leave because the show's doing so awfully, he doesn't want it to damage his career. Like, yeah, that does actually sound like a good reason to go.
Wait, that's what he said.
Even if you're the one ruining it.
Said. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's looking like this is it on, and we are just hours away. Disparu, when does it air? From Planet of the Incels. I can't wait.
Isn't that
9 hours.
The title?
It's not. That's not the actual title.
They do use the word. They do call them incels in the show.
Jesus Christ!
And it is about toxic masculinity.
Oh joy! Yet again.
Is this season
the
2
first episode?
What was that, MauLer?
Is it season 2 who's starting up then, or
season 2 or 15? However you look at it, but yes.
Oh, whatever. Season of the reboot, whatever.
Yeah, but
they're calling it season
tomorrow.
2. So
yeah.
It's
and Last of Us season 2 this Sunday.
Oh my god, I can't wait to not see that until Joel gets his fucking head knocked off by a 5-iron. Then I'll tune in.
Excited for it.
I mean, I'm going to be watching for that for sure.
I don't know if it happens this season. Maybe at the very end.
It might not.
I think they'll do it. I think they need Pedro for the start of season 3. So maybe maybe it ends on a fucking cliffhanger with like the confrontation. And that's how season 2 ends.
They'll just trace the game. So I think it'll happen relatively early, but we'll get loads of flashbacks.
I disagree, MauLer. I think they're going to invert that. I think we're going to see all of the flashback sequences as if they were happening linearly. And so they can delay that. And so show you more of Abby's point of view of things and show a lot of these things before you get to Joel getting his head caved in.
They're going to have to invent a lot of action-y shit to for like this the law of TV essentially, right? Because like think of their time in the museum. Like they'll probably want to make a lot of shit out of that. I don't even know. Have you played the second game?
I've only watched people play it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's actually like considered one of the only good parts of The Last of Us 2, of which there's like almost zero. But like that would be something that I would expect them to have. I just don't know that it works too well, playing that as a whole ass episode sort of thing. But hey, they made changes in season 1 to the narrative, so we're expecting changes. That's a pretty big. If they change Joel getting killed by Abby with a golf club, the whole internet is going to be talking about that for a long time. It's like, so you did think it was a bad idea. That's what I mean. Like, So it'll be interesting to see. This is the whole reason I'm watching season 2, because I'm not invested as a result of thinking they did good stuff with season 1, because I still think they do. It's just did rather, but I don't want the Last of Us Part 2 adapted. There's no fucking reason to do that. It's a horrible game. So the best I can hope for in this case is that they're as unfaithful as possible. But you know, this will be the one time they respect the source material in Hollywood.
That would be funny. It'll be interesting to observe. The show didn't pull me in.
Yeah, let's turn to a more exciting topic. Andor, everyone.
Oh yeah, that's
so
when's that coming out? 2 weeks? 1 week?
11
Is
days.
it that close? Really?
Yeah,
11 days.
Yeah, it's on the way.
I gotta somehow finish it. I'm too busy though. I'll have it watched by the time we start the real BBC after it starts. MauLer. I promise.
You can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna.
No, I'm actually gonna watch it. I'm actually gonna watch. Well, because you're gonna want to talk about it. Somebody has to talk about it. I'll watch it. I'll try to stay awake.
I'm oddly feeling that season 2 might be better than season 1. Like, as
Dude,
someone who
what
did not
are you smoking? This is Disney.
Well,
this is fucking Disney we're talking about.
You got me there, Gary. I can't argue with you.
First time for everything.
I was a sweet summer child with fucking Daredevil, and I don't want you to go through what I went through. Okay,
I don't think it'll be the slow burn that season 1 was.
That's what I mean.
I think that's what Chad's saying. And I mean, I think a lot of this stems. So for people that don't know, and one of the reasons they're releasing 3 episodes a week is because each of these 3 episodes encapsulates a kind of small story in itself. And a year passes between each one of these chunks of 3 episodes, 4 years leading up to the original trilogy, your official original trilogy prequel, everybody, and it's Andor. And I think maybe MauLer knows more about this because he might have paid more attention to what like Tony Gilroy's been saying. His original like vision for Andor was 5 seasons.
As far as I know, yeah.
And I think there's a chance that he incorporated the main plots of what he wanted to see happen in those 5 seasons into these 3 almost hour-long episodes that encompass that. That's what I think he probably did with it. So it could be a little bit more stuff going on and less of the slow burn that
because that's what I mean. Like, I think Andor season 1 did do some good things, but I didn't like it overall because I thought it was unforgivably slow. There was a lot of filler. I found the main character boring and plain, but there was some good parts in it. And if they like get rid of the filler and focus on some of those good parts, it might have hope. But
well, what's funny
is this is Disney. The assumption is it's going to suck because that's what they've been giving us.
They're also releasing 3 hours at a time because 2 of them are going to be filler, and then that's what the first series was. From what I watched the first 4. The first 2 were filler. The third one was decent. Then the fourth one started with filler again to prepare for the next, presumably, trilogy. So I think they're just going to repeat the cadence with this. You'll have 2 building up to the third one. So you'll have 2 hours of nothing happening, and then a decent episode. You'll be 3-hour movies essentially.
Listen, it's the best Star Wars content fucking Disney are capable of because they have seemingly nothing to do with it beyond Tony Gilroy and his team just working in a cave for excessive amounts of years. So I'm more than willing to give it the chance. And he's said publicly a lot of different things that are very reassuring. For example, we ain't just going to toss in random shit to satisfy people with like, Star Wars fan stuff. We're doing it if it's story relevant, if it's story meaningful, which almost felt like a shot at almost everything else that's made for Disney Star Wars, especially Dave fucking Filoni. But we shall see. It could be awful. It could be the worst thing they've made. Who can say? Yeah. The funny thing is, and I've said this on a few streams, he has like the perfect excuse, more so than almost any other production, to bring in Vader. But I'm not sure that he will. Like, it would benefit him marketing wise. People would talk about it because it's Darth Vader, and it's right before the original trilogy. You have every reason. The rebels are becoming a problem. We've got loads of ISB scenes. You can have Vader. You're allowed. But we'll see. I don't know. As long as he has Jar Jar Binks, I think we'll make it.
Yes. Darth Jar Jar.
Hey, MauLer, what did you think of Skeleton Crew?
He was fine. I've already forgotten most of it except for Jude Law having fun in it, and I had fun watching.
I
him
actually liked it. I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, it's not the worst thing.
I
enjoyed it more than Andor's.
That's fine. It's worse than Andor, significantly worse. Like the writing in it is pretty bad, but it's inoffensive. Like everything is contrivance, everything is coincidence. There's obviously some of the stuff in terms of the planet, the banking. I don't want to get into it, right? But like the Skeleton Crew it's fine. It's fine. I don't. I wouldn't recommend it. So, there's that.
I thought, it's a harmless kids kind of Star Wars adjacent show, really, and I think kids will enjoy it.
Sure. Let's get to soups, shall we? I got a cough.
Oh wait, Gary,
what?
We haven't.
What?
I did my homework, and we haven't even talked about it.
What's that?
Mobland.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was the
real
homework
quick.
last week.
Let's talk about. Well, it was last
I
week,
was
but,
told for this episode that I must see episodes 1 and 2, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
We were told we didn't have to watch it this week.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
we're
let's talk about episode 1. Then let's
That's
talk
our,
about
that's our tariff on the UK population, by the way.
Yeah.
You have to watch an extra episode.
What?
I liked
I'm-
episode 1. I thought it was
did
really
too.
fucking good. I haven't watched episode 2 yet, but it's on my plan for this
What
week.
MauLer, your thoughts?
Okay, without getting anything specific, if you want to, we can do it after. But this Mobland was like, it's funny, and this isn't meant to actually hit it in an offensive way or a critical way, but it is exactly what I was expecting it to be.
Yes, yeah,
In a
it is
good
not
way.
surprising.
It's like all the ingredients that make a Guy Ritchie mob gangster thing. They were thrown into a blender, and he added some different spices this time, being different actors, basically. And I don't know. I'm super comfortable with this style, with this genre. I enjoy it every time he does it. It's and I'm loving watching all of these great actors just get into it, and I love and the way it goes, right? Like episode 1, some idiot younger member of the family does something, and now it's unraveling. And watching, Tom Hardy's already awesome in it. I love watching a fixer try to solve all these different problems, and everything keeps getting worse. Having his home life be difficult as well. All the shit with the police and the different
That's
families.
basically Landman, by the way. That's what Landman is.
But yeah, this to me, like I'm not amazed by it, but it's really entertaining to me. I could have watched the whole season by now if it were out.
That's like our description of Reacher too. It's like it's just really comfortable viewing. It's not going to like subvert your expectations or blow your fucking mind. It is what it is. It's action with great actors. It's nowhere near like The Gentleman is on a different
Gentleman
level.
is better in my mind.
Gentleman is like 10 out of 10 show. This is like 7 out of 10 show. It's really solid because of the great actors, and I'm totally into it. I mean,
I'm having trouble getting into it, but that's on my own subjective thing, like because everyone's evil, basically. They're all criminals, they're all murderers. Look, Tom Hardy's character is the only kind of, character that has some interesting, redeemable aspects to his person.
Are you
but
saying
everyone else
there's no honor amongst thieves, Chad?
No.
Well, I mean, the first question would just be like, do you generally feel that way about Guy Ritchie's stuff? Because
I have trouble. This is one of the reasons why I didn't enjoy the Joker, the first one as well, because it's about glorifying an evil character essentially. And I'm not saying they can't make good films with an interesting perspective on that. I just have trouble enjoying them. That's why The Gentleman was easier to enjoy. What?
That's what you got from the Joker?
No, I'm speaking offhandedly, where he's not a good person, the Joker. Like he is a murderer, and so. I'm not saying he didn't have an interesting arc or perspective to show how he got into that position, but it still doesn't excuse what he did.
You're saying he deserved to be raped by Brendan Gleeson. That's what you're saying.
So what you're saying is...
Have you seen Snatched or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Only half of one, and the same thing. Hard to get into just bad people doing bad things.
This is the thing I was going to highlight. Like, I adore Snatch and Lock, Stock.
Yeah, it's a
They're
great
amazing.
movie.
But the thing is, I wouldn't even if someone said like, "But there's like no good people in it," I'd be like, "Yeah, maybe."
Yeah.
That's right. The Gentleman. I actually really like the main character, the Gentleman, where he was trying to balance being a good person, keeping his honor while navigating this world of crime at the same time, and I found it really engaging. I enjoyed
the way that the British gangsters have always been is they'll kill you. but you will have done something to deserve it. They didn't go out into the street and just randomly because even in this, it starts with him stabbing another bloke, but his answer is, well, he put his hand in his back pocket first. Of course he was going to get some. It was like, well, he started it. He should have backed down. And so it's not mindlessly evil. It's sort of
there's cause to it, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's one of those ones that I am.
Did you like The Godfather?
That's traditional British violence, not modern day British violence.
That's like English people do it.
Got a bit of both.
Chad, did you like The Godfather?
More than Mobland.
Come on, buddy.
It's the same kind of, but look, The Godfather is a classic. You know,
to be honest, I still think it's a very valid perspective of what you can and cannot enjoy, or rather, just what you. For me, I would never have said like I'm loving this because I'm rooting for experts. I'd be like, no, I just love watching this unfold. I love watching all the conflict and like watching it all explode in different ways.
How come you liked Penguin if you have a problem with gangsters and criminals and scum?
I think, Penguin I did enjoy more, and he is a scumbag.
Everyone in that movie is horrible.
I think he's just really entertaining. The way that he is able to talk about. Do you like
criminals as long as they're charismatic enough?
Possibly. Penguin is genuinely more interesting. Like, to me, I find more interesting and charismatic, and the way he manipulates things is like really sucked me in.
Well, the way they portrayed that is, generally in the underworld, the most dangerous fucking people are not the guys who look like the big baddest. They're the jovial guys who act like they're your buddy.
Mm-hmm. And Raymond Reddington was amazing at that. Yeah.
I think that's what actually really impressed me about the Penguin, that they could make such a vile character that almost likable, where you're enjoying just watching.
Charismatic.
Like another example, he's not a villain, but he is an arsehole, is House. House is a really engaging, entertaining arsehole that you enjoy watching.
But he's a good asshole. Like deep down,
he's also charismatic.
He's saving people's lives, so it's just like.
But he's not saving them because he wants to save them. It's because he enjoys the puzzle. It's the intellectualism of it that he enjoys.
I would have thought. I would have thought Tom Hardy would have been enough to carry you through if that's your kind of sort of standard.
Tom Hardy is the thing that's kind of keeping me there at the moment, because I do enjoy.
It's the understated, like when he's in that bar and there's two guys and he's just like, no, this is how it's gonna. There's no need to stand up on my account, mate. I'm in gear 1. Should I jump to 6? Everything is just
so good,
monotone, but everyone's petrified.
Who's seen episode 2 here?
I haven't.
I haven't yet.
Wait, fucking hell! I'm the only one who did.
I've been busy.
I've watched it.
Oh, okay. Well,
you can talk about it. I'll still watch it. I don't care.
Yeah. I recommend it. I really liked episode 2 as well. But there's a scene related to what we're talking about with Tom Hardy where he's trying to fix the situation once again. Different. I want to almost be vague, but simultaneously highlight something because I think it's really good. The person he's talking to, you'll know when you see the scene, is obviously getting madder and madder, and basically throws out a threat against his daughter. And I really love the way that scene continues from that point on in terms of understanding Tom Hardy's mental state. You get a big impression because he's a fucking excellent actor. But that character up to this point, it's only episode 2, but you've already got a sense that he's very pragmatic, very careful, very man of his word sort of thing. So threatening people he loves, you're like, oh shit, what is that going to mean? And if you just watch his actions then throughout the rest of the episode and how he talks, it's like he's gradually becoming more and more unhinged as a result. So, I'm hoping there's going to be more in the show that gets me tied into it, but I'm enjoying it enough so far.
I do have a question about episode 2, but it's in spoiler kind of territory, so
we'll save it for next time.
But that is a theme that we had in episode 1 of that. There's a bit where they're on about, well, if you went for my son, that's just not how we do things. And they have this attitude of, we'll have a gang war out in the street. You don't touch family, though. There's a line in the crime where you don't go across it.
Yeah, I wasted my. I didn't waste my time. I finished 1923. I had to burn through that. It was mostly good, except for one storyline that was totally fucking trash. But I liked all the Dutton stuff, but we got to get to Soups.
I was just going to mention that I really enjoy watching Pierce Brosnan be a crazy, just leader of the
Helen Mirren being a little shit stirrer that she is pretty good too. Like,
she's I love everyone's performances. It's a very, as you mentioned, very enjoyable watch. You get what you're asking for, like pick it up with the Guy Ritchie gangster thing in Britain.
Cole Hauser, rah, for 50 Canadian pesos. Thank you, Cole Hauser. Hail FNT. Gary, with MGM in the hands of Amazon, what do you think will happen with 2001? Will Hal become they, them with the monolith become pink and will the monolith become pink and gay? Hail MauLer, Ryan, Jeremy, my Rigas at 199 Yo Joe, praise the Ra.
Are they remaking 2001? Is that a thing?
I think he was just talking about it as one of their properties or something. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, but
I wouldn't put it beyond Amazon. They got MGM for a reason, and there wasn't a lot there. They mainly wanted possible access to those Hobbit rights, but mainly James Bond. That's what they were eyeing for, because MGM didn't have really shit, and they still overpaid for it, but it wasn't as much comparatively to other studios.
And if they're pumping out 12 to 14 movies a year, they're going to be mining everything. They'll go through all their IPs.
Oh yeah. Quantum Sledgehammer for 50. Gary, on Discord chat last night, I told AJ from the Y-Files about the Vegas meetup, and he said he'd like to go. Seriously, wouldn't this be super cool? Maybe your people can contact his people, and we can make the magic happen. See y'all there. Well, thank you. And my people beat me. I just dropped him a text saying that, like, because I know he's a busy guy. I didn't want to bug him, but he's more than welcome to come to the meetup. He just shouted us out on Twitter. So hail AJ from the Y-Files. Honestly, the channel, sorry guys, the channel I listen to the most. He's got a 24-hour thing going on Y-Files. It's a great channel. It's one of the best channels on YouTube, if not the best. He's got a great team. He puts together great stuff. Hecklefish is fucking hilarious. Y-Files Backstage does a 24-hour stream now, and like every night I'm firing that thing up every fucking night, and I watch all his videos first thing. And he is a genuinely good
You learn
dude.
something watching his channel.
You do. AJ's super nice, so he's more than welcome. I have texted him. We'll see what I don't want to make any promises for him, but yeah, that would be awesome. And thanks for mentioning it. Love the Y-Files. Not Another Dime has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100. Damn it, Ryan. My Invisalign, like occasionally, like one tooth will just start fucking hurting for no reason, like in the middle, and like it's happening right now. It's like, oh shit. God damn it. It hit me like 10 minutes ago. This is a good one. Usually it doesn't bother, like this hasn't bothered me that much, but
when's the last time you switched them out?
I'm due to switch them out. I'm actually due to switch them out. So
maybe you were randomly grinding your teeth or something.
I probably was. Yeah. Shadow Saiyan 737 for $49.99. Oh god.
This one's evil.
Or like iron ore, Ort, or Blaine Beardo. Am I reading off a thing so you can deep fake me now?
Probably. Oh no.
I think he like stuttered around a fucking word and he sounded like a seal temporarily. And that became a meme somehow. I don't know.
Oh, and Jeremy's going to lean into it and it'll be a meme for the next 3 years. Because I never do that as looking at man tits.
Homosexual.
I wonder if as for a temporary time will come back to the show. I wonder. I'll just leave it there. Ooh. Not Another Dime.
That was as subtle as G20.
I wasn't supposed to be subtle. I just wonder. Ooh. I wonder if Az will temporarily come back to the show for a little while. You never know. I can't say because I honestly don't know. But it's sometime this year. Not Another Dime has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Hail, that's a lot of dimes. Alec Baldwin's finger. Did he just have a birthday?
His finger?
I think he just had, I think his finger had a birthday. Well, he had it.
I did see something about his birthday was recently. Yeah.
Yes. He went to Peru with us. He's a fucking great guy. Has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Happy birthday, Alec. Baldwin's finger. Good luck with Rust. Are you gonna watch?
Good luck
Rust,
with your
Ryan?
fucking wife.
Oh Jesus Christ! Well, no, that's karma. That's karma.
Aren't they? I think they're doing like a couples show. I'm sure I read that.
Oh, reality.
They ought to show the softer side of the man who fucking killed someone who's coming out with a movie to profit off their fucking death. But honestly, like, look, I hate Alec Baldwin. Think he's scum of the earth, scum of the universe. I saw a couple clips of him and his wife. I get it, bro. I feel bad for you now. I would have killed somebody too.
I don't. I don't. He gets
on one extent. She's probably fucking wild in bed, bro. So like, there are Alec Baldwin's finger probably smells like Hilaria all the time.
Oh God! I feel like he probably likes it though.
Fucking what a scum bucket! You do something like that, you lay low for a couple years, you show some humility, you work with the fucking cops because it was an accident, right? Just take some responsibility for it. And he was such a fucking piece. He's a piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit and deserves
Do you remember
no
the
sympathy.
creepy videos that he put out? Like in his car, and he was holding up bits of paper as if it was some kind of setup that something had happened to him and stuff. He went really off the deep end at some parts of that.
Well, look at all the Baldwins are fucking crazy. They're all fucking crazy. As they got older, I don't know if their agents kept them quiet, but it seems like as they've gotten older, they've all, like Billy, Steven, they're all batshit fucking crazy.
They're probably always been crazy. They were just really good at covering that up back in the day.
Crazy Terrence Howard is crazy about a lot of stuff. He's engaging, but he ain't wrong. You go to Hollywood, you give up your man card, and you just don't recover from that.
Yeah.
And giving up your man card was code for saying giving up your fucking asshole.
Butthole.
Yeah. Kratos El Gratos for 50. We are planning. Oh, well, Ryan is excited about this. Okay. This is Ryan. That's Ryan's excited face, by the way, what you're looking at right now. That's Ryan's excited
Give you a
face.
closer look.
Yeah, that's Ryan's excited face. That's him being passionate.
You have the range of Tessa Thompson.
Yes. That was a good one, actually, girl. She's learning, folks. We're planning on reserving a karaoke venue on Friday night. DM me on Twitter if you're interested, or check the Fellowship Discord for all the events we have going on next week. Check out the Fellowship Discord. You guys are doing all kinds of crazy stuff without us during the week, which is fantastic. I'm sure some people would love to join for karaoke. Friday Night Tights is basically, it's only 3:39 here for me. So it's Friday afternoon tights in the Pacific time zone. So we should have plenty of time to do stuff afterwards. I don't want to have plans for everybody else because I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do, but I'm going to enjoy Vegas. That's what I'm going to do. I liked it, Ryan, when we just walked around. Why am I blanking it now? The street. Not
Street?
the Fremont Street.
Okay.
I like when we walked around the strip and walked around Fremont, and Hayden Wayne was there. That was good times, man. And Chrissy got in her basketball uniform.
With Lila. That was fun. We had matching.
And we went to White Castle.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be good.
It'll be fun. I liked it when we did that.
What's the Fellowship Discord? What is that?
I've heard of it. I haven't been there because I'm 55, and the only thing I use Discord for is to communicate with my team or MauLer.
I am also never on Discord. Yes,
I am never on Discord. There's a Nerdrotic Discord too. Well, there's an
RK Outpost Discord. Yeah,
there is, and they're both crazy. They're
never on it, but yes.
We will find the Fellowship Discord. Go look for it. Maybe somebody can put in a link. That's fine if you want, and coordinate events all you want. I am gonna marry a couple on Friday morning.
That's right.
That's so nice.
I'm gonna officiate a wedding. Thankfully. We got all the forms in time because my wife filled them out for me, Ryan. And and thankfully it's limited to like 10 minutes. And I'm like, God, I hope I don't have to read stuff for like 20 minutes. It's going to be the worst thing. But it's like 10 minutes and I'm only going to refer to them as their screen names. I hope they realize that. I'm not going to call them by their real name. So it's going to be Sheep City and Horror Amarada, and I'm going to mess up her name. But it'll be tons of fun. See, we bring people together, man.
I hope you've been practicing more than your audiobook.
I'll try. I shouldn't practice at all. I'll just wing it like I always do, Chrissy. What could go wrong?
I'll bring Post-its in case.
What could go wrong? Normal man for 50 Canadian pesos says, Gary, these Raycons are so good. I left them in Wisconsin.
It happens. It happens.
Sorry, Raycon. I meant to buy another pair, and I just haven't gotten around to it because I had to leave quick. Donald Fuller for 50. Hail Fellowship. Just hit me that my 51st trip around the sun, X-Ray Girl. 51.
I just left it because I thought it was cute.
My 51st trip around the sun. A birthday full of paying taxes. Oh, fucking tell me about it. Ryan, you just did yours? Yeah. I heard you did yours. Yeah. I filed for an extension, but I still had to pay. I still had to pay some stuff.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you file for an extension, that's fine. You don't have to like actually turn in the paperwork. But if you don't pay then, or at least set up something to pay, then you're fucking actually late. So
yeah. So I had to pay an estimate, and the IRS isn't listening, right? The only reason I did it because we were ready is fuck the government. They can wait. That's the only reason I did it. Where was I? My 51st trip around the sun, a birthday full of paying taxes, paying for my car registration. Oh my God, that's so much better in Texas.
Sucks. Yeah.
Oh, it's so much better in Texas. My registration comics in Texas was like $140.
Oh.
Yeah. What were you paying in California?
$400.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
They stick it to
there. Yep. Miss those days of cake and ice cream. LOL. Oh, well, love you all. Keep up the great work. May the fellowship live forever. And I'll add this: taxation is theft. There you go.
All you have to do is request cake and ice cream, man. It doesn't have to stop.
Yeah, we can still get you cake and ice cream.
Unless you're diabetic, then I understand.
It's the only time you can have it at my age for your birthday. Shit stays with you like herpes.
It does.
Paul Stromby for $49.99. Hail FNT, I'm turning 41 this weekend, and I'm getting ready for at least one more fight to keep my title over the summer. Wish me luck, FNT. Good luck, brother.
Yeah, man. Good luck.
Yarma.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Everybody's having birthdays in April around tax time. That's depressing. Yarmouth for 50.
Yeah.
Hail, pizza's on me as always. When can you coax Gundam to come back on? We probably could ask them today. Gundam shows up when we ask. Let's get Gundam on again. I missed his unhinged takes and his encouragement of Ryan's rants. LOL. Yes, and Ryan encouraging him to leave this mortal coil. So,
see, you made him smile.
Gundam and I bring out either the best or worst in each other, depending on your perspective.
So good.
Yeah,
it's so good. We'll bring Gundam back on. We love it, man. Diego Salazar for 2,000 Argentinian pesos says, so after Minecraft's success, Hollywood execs will go back into swarming some poor video game IPs, squawking money, like the seagulls in Finding Nemo. Mine. Yeah.
Mine.
I love that movie. In Hollywood, is Hollywood moving forward, or are they just trying to go back to 2015? They're not moving forward at all. When they're just IP miners. That's all they are. So they're not moving forward. They're not innovating anything themselves. I mean, there's you know what? There's tons of IP to mine. They're called books that you can adapt that have never been adapted before. Try that. It really worked for Hollywood for a long time. Or at least Christopher Nolan is doing like the Odyssey, like doing hopefully a proper Odyssey. Although all my ancient civilization guys are fucking triggered over the armor and shit.
That friggin' armor, man! It's abomination.
Dude, Metatron, Luke Caverns, everybody I know is like, that armor is shit.
It's so funny because I saw somebody like do a sketch over version of what the actual armor from that time period would look like, and it looked retarded.
And I was like, I get it, man.
It depends what type they go for. I mean, if they get
some of
like
it look good.
Yeah, there's some good looking.
No, the big metal the big metal like fucking bells that they used to wear, pretty much like God, that like those look like shit. But that'd be funny. That'd be cool. I think it'd be cool.
I reckon they could sell it and make like this, I don't know, tank badass guy, wearing that crazy thing, and no one can, damage him, and he starts messing people up. I reckon they could.
All right, what did you think about? All right, Shed, what did you think about the movie Troy?
I have complicated feelings on Troy.
Because it's badass, but it's not exactly accurate.
This is true. I even have a full fight scene autopsy on the main fight scene between Hector and Achilles, and there's some great stuff in it as well as some, overall it's good. Overall, it's good.
There's some things that specifically Achilles does in that fight that I would not imagine anyone would do that in a legit fight.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff, but then
it almost because of the fight and because Achilles does feel so fucking invincible
and like a superhero in that film,
and he's showing off. It's like, I can kind of buy it,
Oh yeah, I even like how he does the finishing move with the spinning kind of stuff. He sells it. That actually, he pulls that off where it's like they're feints and is psyching him out and then lands the hit. It's like, all right, I can go with that one. But there are some other weird kind of funky things.
The one where he has the shield, like the spear.
Yeah, behind his neck, and it's like this weird angle.
No fucking leverage. Nobody would do that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I like.
But look, I love the film. But historically, there's some.
We're getting a Kingdom of Heaven director's cut 4K. I saw that.
Yeah,
got a big movie coming out.
Hey, MauLer, we love.
Don't go after me for that. Go for drinker, all right? I don't. That's not a hot take I spread around.
I think we should do more.
It's right up there with Interstellar, right, MauLer?
What Chad is referencing, of course, is the EFA movies on Troy. You can go check out. We all watch it and enjoy it because Troy is fun.
I like Troy. Yeah, I haven't seen it in like fucking years.
Awesome.
Well, we also have one on Kingdom of Heaven, and
I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. What do you mean? Yeah. That is absolutely not a movie that Drinker left out of boredom.
Really?
And the first thing people say is, "Oh, you should have watched the director's cut," and then I'm just like, "Sure."
A longer version. Michael Dunioff for 50 off the Celebration Japan Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Yeah, and tickets to the Andor panel. I lived there for the last time. I lived there the last time it was in Japan, but wasn't going to cons then. Looking to engage with Japanese fans and score some local merch. That would be the reason to go. The reason to go to Japan is go to the fucking hot toy store.
Yeah,
that's
merch.
I'll starve to death when I'm there. And hope you guys cover some Hail FNT. Well, I mean, they have hamburgers there and stuff. They have beef, but man, all that fish smell would drive me fucking crazy. Ugh, you like going to Fisherman's Wharf. Like I never went there in San Francisco. It's disgusting. It smells like fucking slimy, bad dead fish. It smells like something else.
Slimy dead fish.
Probably because of all the slimy dead fish. It also smells like something else, but there's ladies here. So.
I'll just waft it up at you. I'm wafting it. Take a whiff, comic.
Right. Protecting you, comic.
We appreciate it.
Juby's G for 50. At work, had to sneak in for a minute. Ryan, did you ever play Jedi Survivor video game with Jan Ors, Kyle Katarn, Lord Dessen, and Gallic Fire? How the fuck do you say that?
Well,
Ryan?
Can you say the game name again? I have played the
Jedi Survivor,
the Jedi Knight game with specifically with Kyle Katarn, Jan Ors, Desan, yeah. But Jedi Survivor, is there like a mod that you can do for that or something? Those are different games.
Yeah.
They came out about 25 years apart.
Oh, it's been so long since I played that game because I played every game, Ryan. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know.
It all blends together, right?
Also, what is the best way to get EU Star Wars books these days? Use bookstores, dude. Half Price Books if you got one near you,
or Amazon.
There's a fucking lot of them. Well, try to support your local. For one, your
local first.
Used bookstore will have a ton of them.
Yeah,
that's where I get my Star Trek books, the ones I don't have. So, yeah, Half Price Books. Is it only in Texas Comics, or is that other places? I wonder.
I've only seen them in Texas, but
Half Price Books is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Operation Outstanding Infield for $49.99. Outstanding Friday crew. All the PTDBS recovered. What's up, brother, by the way? And traveling to meetups has paid off. Crushed it at Disabled Winter Sports Clinic in Aspen. Oh, nice. Qualified to be an independent sit skier. Oh, brilliant.
Cool.
Chance for future competitions. I'm just grateful to be around. We're grateful you are around, brother.
That's amazing.
Great to hear. Hope to see you again soon.
It's crazy to see how, like, from when we first met him to now, it's nuts.
Yeah, he's come so far.
Yeah.
And, his story got attention, which is good.
That's
because
good.
it needed to get attention because it was unbelievable. Fuck, man. Goddamn. But hey, just, forget COVID, everybody. Forget all that.
No, it's
shit.
fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh,
You're
Get
just
over it.
harping over
Get over
spilled
it.
milk.
Yeah. None of us knew.
Yeah.
TWF for $50 Australian. And this for the panel. All jokes aside, this is to the panel. All jokes aside, is there a death scene in a movie series that still haunts them to this day? For me, I watched Animatrix when I was 6, and the guy being ripped screaming out of the mech in the second episode still gets to me. Ooh, that's Animatrix is amazing. So you're talking about not one that makes you feel sad, one that makes you
visceral reaction.
Well, I mean, the Red Viper getting his fucking head squished in, even though I read it in the book, man, seeing it was totally fucking different, dude. But I gotta say, Live and Die in LA. The Live and Die in LA, when the main character gets his fucking head, sorry, it's been out for a while, gets his fucking head blown off just randomly at the end, was shocking. I was like, whoa, what the hell?
For me, it's not even a death, but it's when a woman gets thrown into like a pit of needles and just like skin crawls every time, even at the thought of it.
Oh wait, in Saw 2?
Sounds like the Saw movie.
Right? That one was
yeah, there's something about that is like
yeah.
Like obviously there's deaths that are like shocking or wild when it happens, but like ones that haunt me, I'm not really haunted by anything like that.
Yeah, it doesn't haunt me anymore, but like when I was a kid, like I remember just cringing and holding my gut. It's when in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the Sheriff of Nottingham runs through his cousin for failing him, and you see the sword go into his gut. As a kid, I would just like clench my gut and hold it just like to get through that scene. That was a good film.
So
actually, hold on. I just remembered there was Katie Holmes was in a horror movie, and this wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm shocked. It was just really fucking weird. Katie Holmes was in this horror movie like 15 years ago. And there was like weird things crawling in the house and whatever. But at the very end of the movie, she gets sucked into this hole and she doesn't fit, so her legs just like snap and break as it was a bad movie. I do remember Katie Holmes' death for some reason, but
has
that's
anyone
about as traumatized as I am.
Anyone here seen Bone Tomahawk?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
Not
dude.
Yet. I think that's all I need to say because you know
Dude,
exactly.
that is such a good movie, by the way.
Yeah, I love it.
Such an underrated movie. It's fucking brilliant, but holy shit, it's brutal.
There was a short film I saw called Pelts, and there was a dude that basically disembowels himself with a pair of scissors, and it's pretty
gross.
It's very visceral.
I to this day have not watched the moment when the mountain crushes the head. Is Oberon? Oberon's head.
It's
that's insane.
It's insane because I again read it in the book, and it's not like that. They really fucking made it utterly brutal. I told the story. I was supposed to go on a date with Melissa that night. We're like, I ain't going out.
See, I still have not seen it. I've got to look away. That's too much for me. I'm like,
it's
no, I can't.
Fucking brutal.
Hey, it's funny. I can put up with a lot of stuff like that, but Bone Tomahawk, that particular scene, I remember telling someone immediately. I was like, it's been a while since a film has made me like go, whoa, fuck.
Are you talking about the one where like they scalp him and they like split him up the middle? That one.
It's a combination, because I was looking at what other people have said. It's like, why is that scene so effective? The sound design in it is like perfect.
Yes.
One thing way ever.
Well, even in 1883, Taylor Sheridan's 1883, a chick gets scalped and she's still alive and she's fucking running around and they have to fucking put her down. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But Bone Tomahawk, dude, it's like I wanted to sit down and rewatch it the other day. I'm like, I'm not in the mood for this movie right now. I can't do it.
You know, one of the most shocking things about Bone Tomahawk for me was his name is Matthew Vaughn, right? The guy from Lost. Is that his name, or is it something else?
I think Matthew Vaughn's the director.
No, sorry, I'm mixing. What's the name of the guy from Lost, main character? Not the character
Matthew
name.
something.
Matthew. It is Matthew, right?
Yeah.
I just know him as Racer X.
Matthew Fox. Matthew Fox.
Yeah.
Matthew Fox.
Right, yeah. He's in. So I never really cared about him in Lost. I thought he was fine, but
not remember what the main character's in Lost name is.
Jack Shepherd.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
because it was a meaningless fucking show. That's why.
Yeah. But,
sorry, MauLer, go on.
I like a decent few of the characters in that. I just didn't like him that much. He was kind of generic. But I was gonna say him in Bone Tomahawk. I thought he was pretty good. Like I quite enjoyed him.
Yes,
he was like,
he was also Racer X. You're right.
Felt responsible for what had happened, and then got involved in stuff. And I like the way they played the character and stuff. I was like, oh, maybe there's hope for you after all.
The live action Speed Racer is an underrated film.
Yeah. Josh Holloway's doing some Western that he just announced too. Speaking of Lost actors, randomly.
Yeah, he's cute. I'm gonna watch that.
Josh Holloway's gonna be in the first J.J. Abrams thing to come out since fucking Rise of Skywalker. He's doing a show.
Did you ever watch the Colony with him?
Yeah, that was good.
Colony was decent. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like
canceled
Colony
pretty quickly though, didn't it?
I think
I enjoyed
seasons, it. Something like that.
What's the name of the new show, chat? The J.J. Abrams show with Josh Holloway. I like Speed Racer. I thought
Speed
it was a cool
Racer's
movie.
great. Yeah, I think it's underrated.
That needs a 4K. Yeah, that was a fun movie.
Like that. That's okay.
Wachowskis, when they were still dudes. When they were still dudes, they made that. Trevor N for $5 says, "Hello, MauLer, and hail to the fellowship. My monthly super chat asking, when are you going to have Arch on? We should have him on soon. I don't want to feel like I like that guy a lot. I think he's good.
Yeah, I love Arch.
I'm just I cannot get into Warhammer 40K. I repeat, I cannot get into it. All right, I've got enough problems.
He does other stuff.
Yeah, his podcast, The Archcast, is hilarious, and the way he teases Lumi in it and mocks it's good stuff. You can check out Arch. Love it.
MauLer, you're thinking of a game, Team Fortress 2, says Ryu for $2. There you go.
Because in reference to like having different people for different will. That's true. Yeah, Team Fortress 2 is it was awesome. Wait, I don't know how it's doing these days.
How accurate is upcoming producer credits in IMDb? Because if so, J.J. Abrams might ruin a hell of a lot of stuff. Like he's doing a Half-Life movie, a Portal movie.
These are all they've been
Constantine 2.
They've been announced forever, but the actual first thing he's come out with is and finished is producing and I think co-writing or just I'm not sure a TV show with Josh Holloway where he belonged. TV.
That Portal news is like 4 years old or something. It's crazy now.
Hopefully that never gets made.
He was going to do. He was attached to
Minecraft. After Minecraft, they're going to jump on all these video game properties,
and they're going to fucking fail.
Well, yeah, I mean,
JJ's involved.
I wouldn't have thought that this would like boost a super interest in making a Portal movie, but like I said, Fortnite would make sense. Even though apparently the guy like Epic have said they're not doing a Fortnite movie ever, which is honestly just leaving money on the table. It's like okay, fine.
Well, it's because their game is still so successful. They don't want anything that could damage the brand, probably.
Yeah, that's
like
smart.
the movie would be less profitable than the game.
They got Sabrina Carpenter in Fortnite now.
But I mean, have they not just proven it doesn't matter if it's a complete pile of shit?
Does it matter? No.
Well, yeah, but let's say it makes $1 billion to Fortnite. That's not that much. Like, it's about a year.
But that's a whole other avenue in industry, and it just improves. I would say that improves the health of the IP.
That's a hard movie. To adapt Fortnite, like
it's unfortunate, but now even my mum knows something about Minecraft, so like it's the next movie. I hate Minecraft, by the way. I hate the movie. Minecraft's cool enough.
The game's cool. Yeah. Albert, not a retro for 2 Canadian pesos. MauLer with some solid singer. The A game for FNT. Yeah, he is. Of course.
Singer? Sure.
Yeah, that's what he said. Dr. Pelican for 2 Canadian pesos. Excuse you, MauLer. It's Task Mistress.
Oh,
I like Task Manager. I think that's way better.
It's great.
Credit to Fringy for that one. Yeah.
Hail Fringy. Rod for $4.99. MauLer and Ryan, are you guys doing a star grift for Andor season 2? P.S. Don't forget to eat your bat cheese.
Bat cheese.
That sounds gross.
That's an old meme right there. I haven't heard anything, so probably I don't believe
said anything. But I don't know if Ryan is up for it. I wouldn't mind having you on the EFAP for Andor. We'd like.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
There you go. Ryan MauLer, can we get Stargriff episode once Andor season 2? And says Patrick Bowser for $5.
Not impossible.
You never know.
Nothing's impossible. Wonko the Saint.
Like just because EFAP got brought up. I heard that you didn't fucking want to pick me for your flag football team, MauLer. So Rags got the team.
No, my answer was I'll pick whoever's good at flag football because I have no fucking clue what that even is. That was my answer. His answer, he went through like all of the cast that's ever been on. It was like he's gonna go for the wiry, the fast, the
he's like I need to know what they look like. So
Ryan would be good at flag football.
Who would?
I got you would. You'd be good at I got to enunciate flag football.
That's a tough one, especially those Invisaligns. Got to be careful. I know. You get struck for hate speech, you can't blame Invisalign. It's like
football.
Wonko the Stain for $19.99. I'm 11 years sober today. Hell!
Wow.
Yes!
Congratulations.
Nice.
Looking forward to reading your book, Gary. I love you all and don't care if that makes me gayer than Jeremy in a pink tutu. That's just Jeremy on a day in the week. To be honest with you. I mean, he wears fucking Crocs and pre-torn jeans. There's nothing really gayer than that. Oh, somebody, who was it? Melissa shot the picture. There is Croc cowboy boots.
Oh, I saw those.
No.
Why?
Surely that's
because of people like Jeremy. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a fair answer.
Yeah.
I want to get them some if they're real. I do. Don't be hasty for $20 says we had Die Hard on a boat and Die Hard on a plane. Now we get Cleaner and G20. Oh yeah, I mentioned that in my review. We get 2 female DEI hards within 2 months. We get Die Hard with the insert minority here, which is far more creatively. What was that, MauLer?
Which one was better? You've seen them both.
Oh, which one is better? Oh, fucking
G20.
G20.
G20. Is that just for the meme value, or
yes.
like
no? I actually think it's a better put together movie because the other one, she's outside a building on a
most
box
of the time.
at least half the movie. It's just boring.
No, and Viola Davis is a better actress than fucking Daisy Ridley. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Viola Davis. I mean, she's fucking.
And the villain's better.
Hot off the heels of the Woman King, by the way.
I will say, Gary, I will say, I'm not like I'm a Viola Davis expert, but I am like, it's funny how it's like, oh, she's really good at Waller, and it's like it's just her.
That she has no range. She has zero range, but she's a very good Amanda Waller, like very good.
Mm-hmm.
When will Hollywood learn that there is only one Die Hard and it's a Christmas movie? I don't know. I don't think Hollywood's going to learn a goddamn thing.
No, not in the slightest.
And it's crazy how that just became a fact. You know, it's a Christmas movie. Like got settled legally that it is a Christmas movie. And
dude, it's been settled. I'm sorry to pull my age card on you guys, but that argument is not new.
Time.
It predates the fucking internet. Okay, so and it was settled in the fucking it was settled in the fucking 80s. Okay, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie to me. Absolutely, I watch it every fucking Christmas. That is my favorite Batman movie. It's my favorite Batman movie. Batman's
right.
I like the statistical analysis that we can like run down for the amount of different. Remember that video that I sent you, Shad, about the different references or songs or carols or like all these different things, decorations, whatever that appear in Die Hard versus Home Alone.
Yep.
Where like no one would argue that wasn't a Christmas movie.
Still didn't convince me.
But that's because you're fucking stuck in your old
wrong,
and stuck in
Shad.
your ways.
No,
Shad.
because I have a simple
Old
standard.
curmudgeon.
I have a simple standard. I define movie by their primary premise. Like Robin Hood,
Fucking
Prince of
Shad
Thieves
and
is
Shad
an
and
action
Matt.
movie before it's a romance.
Shad-
even though romance
Shad-
is a
An
very big
action
part of it.
Christmas movie.
Shad and Matt Walsh are the
See, that-
oldest fucking young
Disparu.
guys on the internet. Okay.
So, Chad, you are dangerously close to restart this argument. I'm trying to resist.
I know. That's just,
I know the
this
chat's all.
Disparu said
It's
something
fucking,
that's ready to me to jump on, and
the
I
chat's
kind
all.
of
It's
agree.
April. Shut the fuck up.
And I'll say the same thing I said back then. I think you can certainly say there are
Don't
some.
start it, Ryan. No, pull the plug. Don't go down this road, Ryan. Don't
Okay.
go towards the
Speaking
light.
of Batman, for $5, Batman has left a super chat. Why do you put up with X-ray girl's laziness? Never give a woman a man's job. She's not lazy.
DI, it's fine.
There's a
I have
weird
the best
transdimensional
diversity hire.
portal in the background though that keeps opening up.
There is, yeah. Like, what the fuck is that, X-ray girl?
That's my attempt at decorating, okay?
It changes your skin color every time it happens because your camera keeps white balancing.
Oh.
It looks like there's a
Alright.
triangle in the background.
And also,
Like, I
why
got-
are you dressed like a fucking lesbian today?
You want to go snowboarding?
Okay, I'll unbutton one button, maybe.
She's not here to be easy on the eyes for you,
Oh,
Ryan.
Becca.
Basically,
Yeah.
she's Meg.
Oh my god!
It's the beanie.
It is.
I'm ready to scissor. That's why I'm under Christy.
Yar, scissor me timbers.
Oh, movie erotic for $10. Questions for the panel. What was your most and least favorite X-Men movie? Which actor played the X-Men character most comic accurate? What are your favorite DC animated TV shows? Thank you. Okay, we'll be here for another hour answering this one. My favorite X-Men movie is
It's gotta be two.
X2.
It's gotta be
X2.
two, yeah.
My least favorite is
I pick Apocalypse.
Dark Phoenix.
I thought Apocalypse was more retarded.
It's retarded. I hate Dark Phoenix because they did it again and they did it worse.
Yeah.
And it wasn't great when they did it the first time. So,
You know-
but I mean, like, I can see your argument.
The
Okay.
one thing I liked, I mean, I'd have to rewatch it to give you more than one, but one of the things I liked was watching Magneto fuck everybody up in that action scene. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, second favorite is probably First Class. But my favorite DC animated movie, part 1 of The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, that is good.
Fucking
You say
so good.
animated movie or animated TV show?
DC. Oh, sorry, he just said animated TV show. Animated TV show.
Justice League
Batman, the
Unlimited.
animated
Justice
series,
League.
man.
I mean, Batman animated series or Justice League Unlimited. That's pretty much like my only options, I think.
Yep. But I mean, Batman the animated series went down in quality towards the end because they got cheap and everything. People just kind of overlooked that. But Batman, like early on, is the GOAT. But Justice League Unlimited, dude, everybody was talking about that in my comic store. That was the most popular show in my comic store
awesome.
at the time. Is so fucking good. When Superman takes on Darkseid, that is one of the most satisfying superhero moments in the history of superhero moments. I've been holding back the whole time, and I don't get to hold back with you.
What was it? Young Justice? Was that
Good first season.
Young
like
Justice is actually legit.
the
It's
first
really
two
good.
seasons I fucking thought
Yeah.
were awesome.
Brilliant.
My son, it's
brilliant
my son's
stuff.
favorite show, and he fucking hates the later seasons, dude.
Well,
So.
yeah, when they revamped
Yeah.
it, there's some good, but there's a lot of who the fuck is this retard and why are they in my show? Like, but yeah, like those first couple seasons with
The characterization they gave Robin was brilliant. All of them have great characters, actually. They got good personalities. They mesh well together. There was humor, good animation, action. It's actually, I might say that's my favorite animated.
the scene
one.
with Wally, Barry, and Bart.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know the notion of who the fuck is this retard and why are they in my show? Daredevil Born Again, just fucking filled with that
Yep.
shit.
Kirsten McDuffie, like Cherry, all of them now. No, like
Dude,
there's
Whenever Cherry shows up, I was just like, here he comes again to tell Matt, I don't like what you're doing, Matt, and then leave.
I know. That's his whole purpose.
Who the fuck are you, Cherry?
It sucks because I've been rewatching the original Daredevil, like as this show's been airing too, and I'm near the end of season 2 now. It's like, my God, it makes Born Again that much worse.
It does,
dude. I watched all 3 seasons like within a week before starting up Born Again. We watched the final few episodes of season 3 right next to Born Again 1 and 2. Holy fuck, that catastrophic drop off.
Griff Nizzle for 20 says, finally, the good episode of Strong Whammon saves herself and don't need no man, invoking Leroy Bradford's name again. So it's the next episode of Daredevil Born Again. That's good. That's good, right? Almost died. Yeah, no, and then it'll be the next season.
Yeah, I was gonna say we graduated to wait until season 2.
White Knight Leo for $20 says, what franchises are left big enough to replicate Minecraft? Well, you bring up Fortnite is the only one I can think of. Please, no Stardew Valley movie. Stay strong. Concerned ape.
Hollywood is that creatively bankrupt. I reckon they'll go for any kind.
Well, yeah. Remember,
they'll do Tetris and stuff.
They're wanting to do an Uno.
It was a good Tetris movie.
The Tetris movie was really good.
The Tetris movie was actually good. Yeah.
I picked the most stupid IP I could think for a movie, and it's already been made.
Yeah. It was in the making. It was about the creation of the game, though, which is
okay. Tetris block voiced by Chris Pratt and Pedro Pascal or anything.
What was that?
Try to avoid blocks that are falling.
What was the name of that animated short show that was on Amazon that had Warhammer 40K? The one that I liked. They did a Pac-Man one that was fucking bizarre, and I loved it. It was crazy.
Here's a good super chat question: if you could be a Tetris piece, which piece would you be and why?
Ooh, the one,
the 4 long one.
Like, yeah.
I'm the straight one.
I'm the straight 4 long one.
You're the shaft.
3 across with a 1 hand.
You're the L. You're the L.
I like the T one.
It's like the 3. It's the T. Yeah.
Yeah, the T. Yeah.
Oh, the T.
It fits anywhere.
We got any Z's in here?
Oh, you don't want to be a T, man.
I like the T.
That's the wrong letter.
I like the D.
Oh.
What about you, Ryan?
I'd probably go for the block. I don't even really have a reason why. It's just the first thing that comes to mind. It's like, yeah, that sounds about right.
I like the L. I like the L pieces.
Because you're always taking them.
Ah, good one. I like to slide those in, get a nice crisp 3 fucking boom 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 flash, and it's gone.
Nah, that's not as satisfying when you get the 4 long straight down boom and it takes up the road.
That is true, but that's just kind of a boring piece.
Ooh. Yeah,
power piece. That's the power piece.
I like the eye shape. It looks like a monolith. That's fine.
I hate the Z's. Those are the dumbest fucking ones. Fuck those things.
They're fucking retarded.
Those are harder.
All right,
those pieces are so retarded.
We'll get the rest on a square up that will be sometime next week. I got to do some traveling, probably Monday morning. Probably fine.
Where do you do the square ups, by the way, Gary? I saw somebody asking that earlier.
When or where?
Where? On what channel can they find the square?
Oh, that is Nerdrotic Live, my alternate channel, which is linked on my main channel. You just scroll down a little bit. You can see it right next to Nerdrotic Daily, where that Perry Chan runs, where he takes clips from these live streams and does pretty fucking well with them, by the way. Trolled the fuck out of Ryan on one. That was funny as hell.
That was
I like how it seemed like I stuttered when in reality everybody else was just fucking speaking and I was trying not to speak over them.
No. Yeah. Perry's point of contention is all in good humor, by the way. You were like, before Perry puts up Minecraft a disaster, and Perry like fucking shoots right in Discord going, what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about? And his titles. He's the last person who should be talking. It was great. So he's all, I'm gonna get him.
I wasn't taking a shot. I wanted to make sure that this was being said in this video where we're all trashing Minecraft, because easily somebody's gonna take that and be like, well, I just made all this fucking money. Look at these losers. I want to make sure we mentioned that we all thought it was.
We all did. We all said this is good. Like I said, my theater was full. Everybody's enthusiastic. Absolutely going to be a massive. I didn't think it would be this big of a hit, but did anybody here say it was going to flop?
No, not that I'm aware of.
But Ryan,
look, there were a lot of people. There were on this panel. There was a significant number of people when these trailers started coming out, even initially, that were like, this is gonna flop. Jack Black hates Trump. This is gonna flop. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it might be shit.
I don't know
and
what
I might
stream
hate
it
it, but
was
I
on,
think
but I
it's gonna
was
make a lot of
on
money.
a stream with someone who called that it would flop, and I was like, it's going to do the fucking opposite of that. But I put out a tweet, I think a little peepo of it's saying like it's a creatively amazing storytelling, blah 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 from whoever.
Oh yeah.
And one of the replies I got was like, "Looks like the narrative is falling apart for EFAP. You guys called it would be like it would be a flop. Turns out you were wrong." I was like, "What fucking? What are you even watching? What?
Maybe they're confusing slop with flop. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because
And you're welcome. I was trying to salvage your fucking reputation, Perry. I'm so sorry for trying to do you a fucking favor.
Oh, now he's gonna go after you again.
No, do not piss off Perry.
Oh, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid I get fucking trolled by Perry Chan. It'd be the first time ever.
I can't wait for the intros now.
He's got 6 ways of Sunday taking care of you, pal. We love Perry. We love Perry. You know what? Yeah, like we don't like really popular movies all the time. I remember when we didn't like Doctor Strange Mom, MauLer. MauLer didn't like Mandalorian very much. Got a lot of shit.
Why would you pick Deadpool and Wolverine? That's the one I got.
Deadpool and Wolverine. You got a lot of shit for that. There you go. I got a lot of shit for Picard season 3.
If you make a prediction about a box office and you're wrong, it's like, okay, I was trying to predict the future. It's going to be wrong occasionally. It's only if you try and argue it after the fact and you're arguing the wrong position.
Exactly.
It's already felt. That's when you're like basically a hypocrite.
Dude,
that's true. However, I feel like especially sometimes in our like corner of the internet, I feel like sometimes people will see something and be like, because this, because that, oh, this is just going to flop, and not understand that there might be a massive other portion of fans out there that will go to see something, even if it doesn't appeal to you at all.
Well,
like Wicked, for instance, like Barbie, for instance.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to recognize some of that shit, even if we fucking hate it and don't like it.
Right.
So we don't sound fucking retarded when a movie comes out. And
that's how you remain informed. Yeah, like just listen. I don't know how many people here like Avatar. I think Avatar is an abomination. I think it's fucking garbage, and everybody loves it.
Yeah.
And it makes so much fucking money.
Yeah. There's a lot of slop movies out there that have made a lot of money. That's just the reality.
And I like James Cameron, and I love his work, and it's absolutely his worst.
Like it's brainless.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call it fucking like trash and garbage. I would call it extremely like meh.
It's easy.
Do you know what I mean? It just extremely meh. Looks amazing, but there's nothing there like
but also it destroyed movies for so long because of that movie, everything became 3D. Everything got re-released in 3D. Everything got reimagined in 3D, and it was like hell at the theater forever because everything was being.
I hate 3D. Well, I hate 3D. Like it gives me a headache because of my prescription. But like the thing is, like the character designs are shit. They're fucking shit. They're not aesthetically pleasing characters to look at. They look like fucking Gumbies
Giant
running around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they're not cool looking.
I agree with you, but you do know there's like a whole load of people who think they're amazing looking.
There's a bunch of furries in the world. You can't explain everything. Okay, but you're right. No,
connecting with animals, and then
there was the syndrome after the first movie came out. There was the whole fucking syndrome of people wanting to live on that planet.
Yeah,
and in real life because they're very lost human beings, and they were depressed, and they call, I forgot what the syndrome was called, but yeah, that was a real thing. Okay, we got to go to Rumble.
Yes,
we got to go to Rumble right now. So thanks to everyone. So yes, Ryan, Nerdrotic Live, and it's Monday at 11 a.m. That's where we do the square ups.
Central.
Give it Central. I'm in the Pacific time zone right now.
Yeah.
That's 9 o'clock.
Oh God, that's going to be early for you.
No, I'll have to get up. You know, I get up early now, so it's all good. It's all good. So you can check it out over there. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. Thanks to all the lurkers. Thanks for all your support. Can't wait to see some of you in Vegas in 1 week. And most of us will be together for in studio FNT next Friday.
On Good Friday.
Have fun.
Thanks to our pals from the Salty Nerd podcast, by the way.
Nice.
Shout out to them. Give them a sub. And we'll see you next week with
crew in person.
Crew in
You'll
person.
find out.
Maybe Gore. Maybe. Well, I don't know if Gore's going to be there on Friday, but yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Somebody. If not, it'll be just us. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.